garage. And without a hesitation, he told us Russell pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient, and you will have your pool in no time.
Flight by Yingling is raising the bar by crafting the next generation of light beer. With only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Flight by Yingling. Raise the bar.
Is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. The AFC East leading Patriots carry a 7-game winning streak into the opening game of Week 11 of the NFL season against the Jets. The success New England's had so far in this season, it's first under Coach Mike Vrabel. No surprise to former Packers and Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy.
The things I've always looked for, whether you're competing against another coach as a coordinator, as a head coach, the consistency. He definitely has been consistent in the play style that he demands from his football team, both in Tennessee and New England. It starts in the run game. We all want to run the ball good. We all want to stop the run. And he's done that in both places.
Mike McCarthy on the Pat McAfee Show. Texans quarterback C.J. Stroud out again Sunday against the Titans with a concussion. Davis Mills starts in his place. It was back to practice today for Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson. Solid step towards starting Sunday against the Browns. He missed yesterday's practice with knee soreness. NBA, an MRI confirmed a groin strain for Magic forward Paolo Banchero. He's out tomorrow versus Brooklyn. NHL, Maple Leaf star Austin Matthews could miss up to a week with a lower body injury.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Candy. Coming up Friday, I'll tell you why 2 preseason Super Bowl contenders are facing must-wins this upcoming weekend. It's Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's ride!
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Decision Critical, concierge nursing in Baton Rouge and all over planet Earth. I'm Matt.
You're a loser, Matt.
Shut up, kid. Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Muso. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. What are the Saints' odds to get the number 1 pick? We'll get to that. Quinn Grovy, former Arkansas quarterback, will be here next hour. Mike Triplett in hour 3. Ton to do. Let us begin as we do every single day.
It's time to pop the top on another edition of AFR with Bud Light. Drink easy.
So we've spent a good amount of time talking about not only what LSU should do at quarterback for the remainder of this season, but obviously what the future of that position looks like both in 2026 and beyond. But for all the talk about the quarterbacks, which is very much warranted and is absolutely paramount and the most important conversation for the future of LSU football, with Garrett Nussmeier done with his eligibility in 2026 and beyond very much up in the air after Bryce Underwood's defection, I would argue that over the last 3 weeks of this regular season, offensive line is maybe the most critically important position group to evaluate. For the very obvious reason that we all know, which has been it has been the weakest position group on the team this year by a mile. It's not even particularly close. And we saw a change in the Alabama game at halftime when Weston Davis, who started at right tackle all season, was benched for Ori Williams. And so what they do there this week in the remaining 3 games, I do think is going to be pretty fascinating. I asked Frank Wilson that on Monday at his Monday press conference, if they had a plan yet. Are they going to go back to Weston Davis, or is that Ori Williams' job again? This was Frank Wilson on Monday.
Who will be the starter? I'm not quite sure yet. One played quite a bit, and then, meaning Weston, and then, of course, Ori Williams went in, and he played quite a bit. They both did some really good things. They both did some things that still we need to build upon, but we haven't made a decision just yet on that.
So no decision yet on who is going to start there. For what it's worth, if you evaluate them both at this point, Weston Davis played in 8 games. Remember, he didn't play against Ole Miss. Jack Pyburn concussed him and broke his nose before the game. I laughed, not at Weston Davis being injured. Just the fact that could actually happen in pregame is wild. But Davis has played 8 games, 472 snaps at right tackle this year. Ori Williams has played in 2 games. He played 26 snaps at left tackle against Southeastern. Didn't play again until the Alabama game, where he played 32 snaps in the second half at right tackle on the road in Tuscaloosa against Alabama. So he's played 58 snaps on the season. So again, you've had 8 games and nearly 500 snaps to evaluate Weston Davis. Ori Williams had 2 games, Southeastern at left tackle and then a half against Bama at right tackle. Players can improve. It's one of the mantras that I sort of champion here all the time. Players and teams are allowed to improve as the season goes along. One of the things that I often bring up is Paul Mabenga from a year ago. Remember last year, very unenviable spot where Garrett Dellinger gets injured in that Texas A&M game and missed the remainder of the season. Well, when you look at Mabenga after, and it was bad, by the way, against Texas A&M when he went in, graded out at a 49. The next week, he's got his first start against Alabama. It was awful, a 43. Well, every week subsequent, he went from a 43, these are PFF grades, from a 43 to a 45 to a 54 to a 60. Like, every week, he got a little better. He wasn't great, but every week he kept improving the more comfortable he got. So I look at Weston Davis and I say, afford him the same opportunity to continue improving as the season goes along. The problem for Weston Davis is he's played in 8 games and he just hasn't improved this year. So I'm not sitting here trying to throw dirt on Weston Davis and say he'll never amount to anything. It just, he's had this season and it just has never looked good at any point. I mean, his PFF grades, Clemson 48, Tech 50, Florida 34, Southeastern 53, 44 against South Carolina, 51 against Vanderbilt, 48 against A&M, 41 against Bama. It's never gotten better. Weston Davis has been penalized 8 times this year. The next closest offensive lineman is Carius Curne with 3. And Curne's been a part-time player. Like, of your starters, no one has more than 2 penalties. Davis has 8. And I don't mean to single him out because this unit as a whole has been bad. I'm only talking about right tackle because the coaches made the decision to bench him in the second half for Ori Williams, and I think they have to make a decision here if they go back to Davis, who has played in 8 games, or if they give someone else a shot over these final 3 to evaluate them. And I kind of look at it and say, that's where they need to be. Look, not to pile on, but we asked Todd McClure, who was a 2-time first-team All-American during his time at LSU. He's in the Atlanta Falcons Ring of Honor, man. Dude played 14 NFL seasons. Incredible offensive lineman. And Todd's die-hard purple and gold through and through. But we had Todd here a few weeks ago. We were talking about the offensive line. And I asked him about Davis, and he tried to handle it with kid gloves, but honesty is honesty.
Weston Davis is really struggling. I'm watching this last game. Of course, he was going against Stewart, who was an absolute stud, and he was reactive instead of being proactive. And what I mean by that is he was waiting on Stewart or letting him get into him before he did anything with his hands. And some of the best tackles I played with that were tall, long guys, they would do things with their hands to show that defensive end. They would put a hand out there and let him swat at it, and then they would pull it back and then get in his chest, So it would be little things working on his punch, his eyes. I think his eyes are all wrong, the target he's looking at, because you watch him on his pass set and he's oversetting guys, or he's not setting far enough, and I think that's something that he has to improve on, and I think he will.
It's not all of those things that Todd said there are all correctable. It's not the lack of athleticism. I mean, Weston Davis was a guy that everybody in the country wanted. I mean, he's 6'6", 320 pounds. I mean, he was a 5-star recruit. He was the number 4 offensive tackle in the country from on 3 coming out. I mean, everybody wanted him. So he was an elite level basketball player. Great feet, good athleticism. I mean, it's not that. So the physical ability is there. He's got to develop, but we've seen it for 8 games, and it's almost like it's time to see someone else. And this is what I'm talking about, because you've now got this sample size, and this is a bigger picture question about how to build a roster. You now have this growing sample size of a lot of offensive linemen who played a lot of football for you. Remember, the only guy you're losing this year is Josh Thompson, who's out of eligibility. Braylon Moore could go pro, but he could come back. And I think that is the most critical player that you need to come back on your entire offense. Of the guys that could go pro, is Braylon Moore. Like, you've got to get Braylon Moore back at center to be just the literal center and the centerpiece of that offensive line, so you could build everything around him, because he has been your best offensive lineman this year by a mile. But other than that, like, DJ Chester's played a ton of football. Paul Mabenga's played a ton of football. Tyree Adams has been your starting left tackle this year. We talked about Davis, Cohen Eccles, Carius Curne, now Ori Williams, not even to mention Solomon Thomas, a 5-star who hasn't been able to play for you this year. But all that to say, you have, even not including Braylon Moore, Chester, Mabenga, Adams, Davis, Eccles, Curne, Williams. That's 7 guys, and then you throw Solomon Thomas on top of it. 8 guys that you feel really good about their ability, and 7 of those 8 have played, or 6 of the 8 have played a ton of football. That's before we talk about potentially Braylon Moore coming back. So I think you look at next season and you go, okay, did you go through this really challenging stretch this year with a very bad offensive line, and you're going to come through it better because you got these guys experience? Or do you look and say, we gave these guys all this experience, we don't know that the ceiling is very high for them, so we need to go into the portal and get guys who are plug-and-play ready-made? Like, go back to 2022 when Brian Kelly made the decision to start Will Campbell and Emory Jones as true freshmen. They were going to live with freshman mistakes because they knew the ceiling was so high with those guys. And as the season went along, those guys got really good. By the end of 22, they were a really good offensive line. In 23, they were outstanding in pass protection, certainly, and in the way that offense functioned. They were the number 1 offense in the country. So I look at it as the central decision that this LSU coaching staff, front office, and the next coach is going to have to make. Are they riding with these guys, these offensive linemen, next year because of all of the growth and development experience they've gotten this year, the investment they made, the growing pains? Or do they look and evaluate and say, you know what, we played these guys and we just missed, and we got to go get dudes out of the portal that are plug-and-play ready-made? But I think you can use these next 3 games to evaluate guys in this group. Carius Curne at left tackle, Ori Williams at right tackle, maybe paramount among them. Look, you're going to move into 2026 with this group and hoping for improvement, or you're going to go into the portal and add proven power for talent on the offensive line. And we'll see what ultimately they decide to do, probably a blend of both. But I would love to see Carius Curne, Ori Williams over these next 3 weeks get a ton of playing time to see if those are cornerstones that you think you could build around in 2026 and beyond. All right, it's After Further Review. Our show open every day is brought to you by Bud Light. Drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light, the official beer of AFR, the official beer of the LSU Tigers. Of course, when we talk about Bud Light, that's a great Mockler product. And our friends over at Mockler, this Sunday, the next 2 weeks, the Weeks brothers will be making appearances on behalf of Form Energy. That's the energy drink. And I misspoke yesterday. Whit Weeks will be at Rouse's this Sunday from 2 to 3 p.m., but it's the Rouse's on Airline and at Long Farm in Baton Rouge. So this Sunday, 2 to 3 p.m., there'll be autographed posters and Form 4-packs available. So get on by, meet Whit Weeks this Sunday at the Rouse's on Airline and Long Farm. I might even try to pop in there as well. It's not far from my house. Hope to see you there. And, of course, always drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light, the official beer of AFR, the official beer of the Fighting Tigers of LSU. Okay, y'all, it's After Further Review. We'll knock out a quick break. Thursday shows are presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. It's not just healthcare, it's healthcare for your lifestyle. We'll knock out a break, and when we come back, the New Orleans Saints updated odds for the number 1 overall pick. So where do the Saints stand? what may have to happen for them to land that pick and what options are available wherever they pick, most likely in the top 5. We'll get to it next on AFR.
After further review.
Y'all, next week, I got the word. Next week, the Christmas trees are going to start arriving over at Clegg's Nursery. We are going straight from pumpkins to Christmas trees. Pumpkins to poinsettias. Fired up for it. The poinsettia open house also is scheduled over at Clegg's Nursery. Still a few weeks away from that, but man, the Garden Center on Greenwell Springs, they're going to have just rows and rows and rows and rows of those poinsettias. It's going to be awesome as we move toward Christmas season. Y'all, Thanksgiving is 2 weeks from today. Thanksgiving is 2 weeks from today. The holidays are upon us, and let Clegg's Nursery help you get set up for this holiday season to beautify your outdoor spaces. Tell you every day to buy local and shop local. There's 4 locations in the greater Baton Rouge area. Siegner Airline, LA 16 in Denham, Mid-City on Donmore, and the Garden Center on Greenwell Springs. My goodness, go look at that picture on their Facebook page of the rows of poinsettias. You will understand the scope of what I'm talking about. It's the only place to beautify your home for Christmas. It's Clegg's Nursery.
I'm lawyer Collins Locke Meredith. Among the most important factors to consider when you're hiring an injury attorney is trust. You trust your attorney will put your interest first, treat you with respect, fairness, and honesty. You trust them to be there for you when you need them. At Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates, thousands of clients have trusted us to represent them, and for good reasons. Please visit us at LockeMeredith.com to learn more, and whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555. You have nothing to lose.
Attention diesel mechanics, River Parish Contractors has an immediate full-time opening with benefits. Valid licenses and TWIC card is required to apply. Call or text Big Jake today at 985-479-9858 or go to rpcontractors.com and click on Apply Now. Come be part of the team that values hard work, has a high standard of excellence, and delivers projects on time and safely. River Parish Contractors. Let's get building.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your environmental impact to help protect our planet. Together, we're fueling our energy future. Atmos Energy.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here. We eat out here. We watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient, and you will have your pool in no time.
These ice cubes could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they cradle and cool.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com.
Rouse's wants to help you cover the spread this football season. We're talking the ultimate tailgate spread. Party trays, dips, fried chicken, anything you want to throw on the grill, plus plenty of ice-cold drinks to wash it all down. All you have to do is register now at 1045ESPN.com for your chance to win One winner will be chosen each week, and everyone who registers will be entered to win a drawing for a grand prize of postseason tickets. Rouse's Markets, your tailgating headquarters.
Give me Graf. I don't care what. Just give me Graf. Just give me something.
Weston Davis is.
That's not Graf. That's not Graf at all.
Queen deflection, we're not going to get it. Oh. And then we knock it away again. Murphy to Queen.
Lob it
up to Murphy. Right hand throwdown from Herb Jones.
That's a jackhammer slam from Trey.
We do not deserve Graf and JD. The Pelicans are atrocious. They're a horrendous basketball team. They're going to fire their coach any day. Should have happened a long time ago. Willie Green is awful. They're just a mess of a franchise. But I get so much joy in listening to two people, in Graf and JD, who care so deeply and live and die in every moment of 82 games of an atrocious team. I mean, I'm sitting there listening in the first quarter of the game last night, and they're crapping on Donovan Clingan just for parking it in the lane and for bricking up threes. Play that real quick.
Herb Jones, right block, cut off.
Listen
There's
how
Donovan Clingan just parked in the...
I'll start it over. Listen to how quiet it is. Like, just understand, like, just listen. This is a live National Basketball Association. Just listen to how quiet it is in the background.
Herb Jones, right block, cut off. There's Donovan Clingan just parked in the lane again.
He's not going to guard anybody.
I'm already going to get upset. Murphy long two, that hit the glass. Rebound taken by Sadiq Bey. Back to Fears, wide open left of the top three, around and down.
Yeah, Clingan is not going to guard anybody. He's going to stand in the paint, and he's going to wait around to block shots and rebound. And the Pelicans have to make the officials aware of that.
When we were in Portland last year, John, I'm telling you, he was in the lane one trip, 8 seconds. Look, 8 seconds.
It's aggravating.
Clingan for three. Brick. Take him all night. Donovan.
That's where you want him.
I want someone to come into our awareness, like what we have with all the Murrays, and we play the Murray drop.
Murray, present.
I need a Donovan. I need someone named Donovan, so we can play Donovan. Like, isolate that for me. I want Donovan. I want Graf saying Donovan. All right, whenever you can get it, no worries. I want Graf saying Donovan. There's nothing to talk about with the Pelicans. I won't, I promise. I'm just going to play clips of Graf and JD because that makes me happy. Because there's nothing about this basketball organization that should make anybody happy, but except those two guys. Play it.
Donovan.
He's not talking about an NBA player. Donovan. Like, oh, man, so good.
Donovan.
So good. Take them all night. Donovan. So good. All right, it's after further review. Thanks for hanging out with us here. Saints are in their bye and opportunity to get some rest, kick up your feet, get healthy, and get ready for a stretch run of 7 games where we'll get a closer look at Tyler Shough. Really nice outing in his first career win this past week. Again, I want to hesitate to – I want to be clear to not – overstate. I don't want to be hyperbolic about one game. I mean, look, Jackson Dart won his first start. People were going bonkers after they beat the Chargers. Came to New Orleans the next week, lost, and they haven't won since. He just got benched for Jameis Winston. I mean, there was Tebow mania for a minute and a half, in Denver. I'm not saying Tim Tebow is or Shough is going to be Tebow, or I'm not saying Dart's never going to amount to anything. I'm just not trying to overreact to one game. It's why every guest we've talked about Shough's performance. It's not been so much just the stats or the win. It's what did you see that you liked. It's the decision making. It's the ability to move within the pocket, to go through progressions, all the different things that say, okay, that looks like an NFL quarterback, and especially on a week where. You had traded Trevor Penning. You had 3 starting offensive linemen out. You traded away Rashid Shaheed. All those reasons, it's impressive. And as a result of the Saints winning that game, their chance to land the number 1 overall pick took a pretty significant hit. As of right now, FPI, ESPN's Football Power Index, give the Saints just a 9.7% chance of landing the number 1 overall pick. That's the 4th best, or I guess 4th worst odds. The Titans, Browns, and Jets all have worse odds than New Orleans. So But the Saints are still at a 63.3% chance of landing a top 5 pick, which is probably what's going to happen because the New Orleans Saints do have the easiest remaining schedule in the NFL. You do have the Jets, you have the Titans, you have 2 games against Atlanta, you have another game against Carolina. You have the easiest remaining schedule in the NFL, which is pretty fascinating because we're looking at that Saints win total, either 4.5 or 5.5, depending on where you got it. And, I mean, that looked like a layup to the under a week ago, and now all of a sudden they beat Carolina. Shough looks pretty good, and you go, man, their FPI will have the Saints favored over the Jets and the Titans in weeks 16 and 17. So you've got an opportunity here maybe to move past that number, and we'll see how high they can go. And I know the feeling for many fans is like, I don't win games. I see it the other way. I think there's a weird contradictive irony about wanting your team to lose. I think the best thing that could happen is Tyler Shough shows you he is a competent, capable starter that you can build around and you win games. I'd rather that than have Shough stink, you keep losing, and you end up having to draft a quarterback. I'd rather listen. I'm not delusional here. I know what this team's going to be. They'll probably still settle somewhere around 4, 5, 6 wins, somewhere in that mix. They're not going to go on a run here, but you land somewhere picking in the top 5, right there in that range. I'd rather you not have to pick a quarterback because quarterback needy teams are always willing to reach for quarterbacks in that range. That's why Zach Wilson went number 2 overall and Mitchell Trubisky. That's what happens. Teams reach in that range if they need a quarterback. I would rather the Saints come through this feeling settled about Tyler Shough so they can use that top pick on another player. And so there's a piece up at ESPN.com, and I mean everybody's going to have this conversation. It's what's the top need for the Saints, and Cat Terrell writes that it's receiver, and that makes a lot of sense, right? I mean, you just traded Rashid Shaheed. You've got Chris Olave, who they picked up the 5th-year option, so he'll be here under his 5th-year option, the 5th year of his rookie deal next season. We'll see how he may ever emerge, and there's no certainty, though, that after 2026, Olave's still around. Because if he doesn't prove that he can be a capable, viable number 1, then you're not going to pay him like that. Maybe he chooses to hit free agency. So we'll see what happens there. Maybe receiver is a position of need it's certainly a position of need. Maybe that's what they target. But when you look at a team like New Orleans, you need everything. I mean, let's not forget, this is still a very bad roster. We just talked about how depleted you are at receiver. When I look at, say, defensive end, Cam Jordan very well could retire after this season. Carl Granderson, the Saints do have an out in his contract after the season. The productivity hasn't matched the contract. You signed Chase Young to the big contract this offseason, so he'll be back, but it would make a lot of sense if you could complement Chase Young with another young edge rusher. You obviously will need help at safety. You signed Justin Reed. We'll see what Jonas Sanker can be, but Alontae Taylor is a guy that's going to be going into free agency. You're going to have to make a decision about if you want to extend Alontae Taylor after next year. So this would stand to reason this offseason, if you want to invest in Taylor, you would do it after this season. We've talked plenty about linebacker, where Demario Davis is nearing the end of his career. Pete Werner is a guy who may not be back in New Orleans after this season. He was one that we talked about possibly as a trade candidate. So you can look all over the roster and see needs, which is why I would rather the Saints not feel like they have to pick a quarterback, because it just stands to reason you're going to get great value. For example, if you look at PFF and their big board right now, so PFF uses their metric to rank the prospects in this year's draft. They have Ruben Bain from Miami as the number 1 overall prospect. Okay, he's an edge rusher. Caleb Downs, the safety from Ohio State, number 2. Arvell Reese, the linebacker edge rusher from Ohio State, number 3. Peter Woods, the defensive lineman from Clemson, number 4. And then Jordan Tyson, number 5, the wide receiver from Arizona State. TJ Parker from Clemson, number 6. Jeremiah Love, the running back from Notre Dame, number 7. Ty Simpson, number 8. Then Fernando Mendoza, 9. and then Mekhi Lemon, the receiver from USC, 10. So the point being, the top 4 players, according to PFF in the draft overall, are defensive players. You don't get to a quarterback until number 8. And we know that whoever's picking 1, now maybe it's Tennessee and they drafted Cam Ward last year, so maybe they're not interested in a quarterback, but maybe someone trades up to number 1 to take a quarterback. So I guess all that to say, if you end up picking top 5 and there's 2 or 3 quarterbacks that go in the top 5, if it's Mendoza or Simpson or whoever it may be, and you're looking at best available, it's totally plausible that you could have Ruben Bain as the number 1 player on your board or Caleb Downs as the number 1 player on your board, and they fall to you at 5 because quarterbacks are going ahead of you. So I love the idea of being in the position where you don't have to take a quarterback with a top 5 pick because you're going to end up getting great value and potentially the best player on your board not going number 1 overall. So I know everyone looks at it and says you want your team to lose because you want the higher draft pick, and I understand that because you want the leverage of having the high draft pick. My point is, don't worry about it because the Saints aren't going to win a bunch of games anyway. They're still not a good football team. But what you would like to see is enough certainty with Tyler Shough through the final 7 games that you're comfortable going into that draft in April knowing you don't have to pick a quarterback top 5, top 10, wherever you're drafting. Because then it's going to put you in a great position of strength when you're drafting, not having to pick a quarterback, but picking the best player available that's going to be a cornerstone piece on either side of the ball that you could build around. If it's Caleb Downs, if it's Arvell Reese, if it's Ruben Bain, if it's Jordan Tyson, you'll have so many more options at your disposal when you're picking. All right, it's after further review. We're glad you're with us here. Love telling you about our friends over at First South Farm Credit, firstsouthland.com, firstsouthland.com. We had a company meeting today over at Court to Table on Burbank, and it's pretty cool that our company has bought a big piece of land right next to Court to Table on Burbank. There's a purchase agreement anyway. You might be moving our operation there, but years down the road, whenever all that, lots of I's dotted and T's crossed. But the point is, it doesn't matter if you're thinking of buying a giant tract of land for agriculture, if you're looking to buy land for at recreational property, maybe you're looking to buy land for commercial purposes, or to buy 100 acres to build your family's dream home and have a bunch of land that you can all live on. First South Farm Credit should be your first call because for more than 100 years, that's what First South Farm Credit has done. Through world wars, natural disasters, economic upticks, downturns, they've been steady and consistent. Experience the difference of buying land from someone who only does one thing, help Louisianians buy land. It's First South Farm Credit. Go to firstsouthland.com, firstsouthland.com. It's First South Farm Credit, firstsouthland.com. Okay, let's knock out a quick break, y'all. We're glad you're hanging out with us here. Ton to do on this day. We'll go around the SEC, our Fantasy Blitz in 15 minutes before the NFL weekend kicks off tonight and you set your fantasy football roster. Check with our guy, Darin Tietgen, at whotostart.net, whotostart.net. Get your questions in. Email us, tweet us, or text us. Fantasy Blitz in 15 minutes from right now. Okay, and then Quinn Grovy, 45 minutes, former Arkansas quarterback, is the color analyst on the radio network for the Hogs. We'll talk to Quinn about Arkansas in about 45 minutes from right now. Okay, quick break. When we come back, we'll go around the SEC. Don't move.
AFR.
How much is your home worth? Do you know? Like, what does it appraise at? If you're looking to move, first you got to sell your home, right? You're going to buy a new home. Most of the time you have to sell your home before you can buy a new home. Take maybe the money you make on your current home, put it toward the down payment or toward the mortgage on your new property. We got to know how much your home is worth. So how much is your home worth? Got a great way to find out. It's totally free. Go to agent225.com, agent225.com. Do this with me right now. Pull out your phone. If you're curious, pull out your phone. Go to agent225.com. Right there on the homepage, there's a little tab that says Home Value. Desktop or mobile. Mobile, just scroll. You'll see it says Home Value. There's a line. Just type in your address. Just boom. Type in your address, hit enter, and in seconds, it'll use local market data to let you know how much your home is worth. And then you can start the process of selling your home with Darin James. Agent225.com.
Think real estate. Think Darin James.
Raising Cane's is our victory meal.
Football fans are some of the most dedicated fans in sports. It's a fundamental quality we share, and that fuels every single order of our hand-battered chicken fingers. Wherever there's football, there's Raising Cane's.
One love. Let's go.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Today, we are shaping tomorrow.
We are researching how extreme stress impacts the immune system, from trauma victims to athletes and even astronauts.
Our work is leading the way in sepsis treatment, saving countless lives.
We're unlocking the mind with music in exciting new ways.
Our Lady of the Lake Health and LSU are improving the health of our state.
That's the impact of champions.
Imagine the impact we'll have on the future. Together, we roar.
Lockmeyer, Sean Fagan and Associates has won for our clients over $175 million over the decades, but our greatest success is our clients who have chosen and trusted us to help them. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call. You've got nothing to lose.
Hi, I'm Sean Fagan. If you get injured, you could be staring at medical bills, repair costs, and lost income. Life can be turned upside down. At Lockmeyer, Sean Fagan and Associates, we'll work to turn your world right side up. Hire us, and like thousands of our clients, you'll be glad you did.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs, set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online or text or call for free, confidential help now.
After a decade of working in private duty nursing, I know how hard it can be to find compassionate care for the ones that you love the most. So I started Decision Critical, a premier concierge nursing agency, so we can take care of you wherever you are. Our highly skilled nurses provide exceptional care from the comfort of your own home with personalized packages for short-term, long-term, or even around the
After Further Review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com.
I wanted to give a big shout out to Kristen Nuss, U.S. Olympian, LSU Tiger. We got to meet Kristen at Fletcher Mackel's golf tournament in the spring. She was one of the celebrity golfers and then came on the show, and we kept in touch, and she let me know that she's got a fundraiser coming up Saturday, December the 6th at Coconut Beach Court in Kenner. It's called Santa in the Sand. Very cool thing that that they're doing. So this each December, it's a beach volleyball extravaganza, as they call it, live and silent auctions, music and entertainment, food and beverage, all raising resources to ensure those have an opportunity to share in this holiday spirit. It's in collaboration with the city of Kenner, and 10 families, I love this, 10 families are going to be selected as recipients of Santa in the Sands 2025 gifting. So it's a way to have a fun day and also help some families have a better Christmas. There's going to be a youth clinic that morning. The tournament begins, check-ins at 9. The tournament begins at 10 a.m. There's also a cornhole tournament. And Kristen told me, like, absolutely make no mistake, you do not have to know anything about volleyball or be able to play volleyball at all. There's different sections, so based on ability, right? So it'll be like really competitive and then just people going out there to have a good time. But either way, it's, again, Saturday, December the 6th. If you want to learn more, Paula's got the QR code up there on the screen. Let me see trying to see where I guess you can register through the QR code. Is there a website on there? that you can see on that graphic that we can throw out the website? My apologies, y'all. I should have had that. But anyway, it's I know it says it's tknvball.com/Santa25. I know that's a little confusing. Maybe, Mies, would you just share that? Would you get that link from there and share it on the ESPN Twitter with that graphic? I know I'm doing this on the spot. Not super urgent, but Paul, if you could forward it to him and use the graphic and share it, we'll put it out there for it. Maybe put it in the YouTube chat as well. So again, Saturday, December the 6th in Kennebra from 8:30 to 6, live silent auctions, cornhole tournament, sand volleyball or beach volleyball with a couple of Olympians. I would say with Cloth and Nuss, but Darin got married, so she's no longer Cloth. It's I think her married name is Brashear. Brashear, is that right?
I mean, could be, but we still got to go by Cloth, right? I mean, that's what people know her in that space, right?
I don't know, man. I mean,
plenty of people do that.
I mean, I think artists do that. Like Sierra. She doesn't go by Sierra Wilson. She's Sierra. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I mean.
There you go. Look. Darin Brashear. Or Brasher? Or Brashear? Brasher. Brasher.
All right. Erin Andrews still goes by Erin Andrews.
Yeah,
she's married.
That's true. But I get it. Like but if that's like if you have a persona, like a TV persona, you know. Anyway. Cool thing. Awesome event. Help brighten brighten the holidays for 10 families. An awesome thing that they're doing. We're happy to help spread the word. So if you want to register, get out there. We'll share the links everywhere on all the 104.5 ESPN socials. All right, it's after further review. We're glad you're hanging out with us here. We're brought to you by Parish Restoration, parishrestoration.com. Kill mold, remove odor, lots of ways that they can help you. Maybe you bought a house that people lived there, had pets, and it smells like pets. You want to get rid of that odor? Parish Restoration can help. Maybe you bought a house and someone was a smoker, or you bought a car and someone was a smoker. You want to get rid of that odor? Or you bought a car that had it had water damage to it, and so it has sort of that musty smell. They can come to your office, spray while you're working, let the fog dwell. It'll dissipate. As soon as the fog dissipates, boom, you're back in free, clear, clean smell, and all that sort of stuff. From your vehicle to your home to giant office buildings, enormous commercial buildings, it's Parish Restoration, parishrestoration.com, parishrestoration.com. Okay, do it every day about this time. Let's go around the SEC.
Around the SEC, bringing you the biggest news from the nation's best conference. The Mississippi State Bulldogs.
Quarterback Blake Shapen probable this weekend against Missouri. He was injured in the third quarter of the game against Georgia, went straight to the locker room. He was cleared to come back, did not play in the second half. Injury was not specified, but Shapen is probable this weekend.
The Missouri Tigers.
Well, Shapen will be going against a Missouri defense that will be without a key defender. Langdon Kitchen, a defensive lineman who's played a lot here in the second half of the season for Mizzou. He's out this week. Nature of the injury not specified. He's a junior there for the Missouri Tigers.
The Florida Gators.
Another defensive lineman, Caleb Banks, who's a literal giant. He's been cleared from injury and is attempting a return. He's a redshirt senior defensive tackle. Remember, we talked to Banks at SEC Media Days. He's had a foot injury that had surgery in September. He returned against LSU. It never really got right, and he's missed the bulk of this season. He is doubtful, was doubtful against Ole Miss on the availability report.
The South Carolina Gamecocks.
Defensive line coach Travion Robertson posted on social media is back working with the South Carolina football team. He's defensive tackles coach. He was in a car accident in August. He's been away from the team this season as he's been overcoming and recovering from those injuries. Required multiple surgeries, including one near the end of October. But great news there. It seems like Travion Robertson is returning to his duties.
The Alabama Crimson Tide.
And on the hardwood, Alabama freshman basketball player center Collins Onyenjaka. He's out for an indefinite period of time with what's being described as a medical condition. 6'11", 265. He's out of Boston, late addition to the Tide freshman class when he reclassified and committed to the Tide in June. Played 11 minutes over the first two games. He'll be out for an indefinite amount of time now. All right, there you have it. That is Around the SEC. Our Thursday shows are presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Not just healthcare for your lifestyle from birth to end-of-life care and everything in between. Maybe you've got a difficult diagnosis, you need in-home care. Maybe it's hospice care. Maybe you're bringing a newborn home and mom and dad need to sleep and you need expert nursing care to take care of your baby while you sleep. They can help with that as well at Decision Critical. Maybe you're having surgery and you need help in the hospital or when you get home from the hospital post-operatively. Decision Critical can help. Maybe you're a physician. You should be referring your patients to Decision Critical. They can even come to the hospital when you give discharge instructions. They can carry those out at home to keep your patient out of the hospital. If you don't know yet about Decision Critical, you need to. DecisionCriticalBR.com, DecisionCriticalBR.com. But they're not just in Baton Rouge. They're all over Louisiana, about to open up their Dallas office as well. DecisionCriticalBR.com. Okay, let's not get a break, y'all. We'll come back. Darin Tietgen's here for our Fantasy Blitz. Before you set your fantasy football roster, check with our guys over at whotostart.net. Get your questions in now. It's AFR.
AFR.
Every day I tell you about Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness, but what I want to make sure that you know is that Goodwood is part of a three-pronged health entity. So if you go on Drusilla, conveniently located on Drusilla in Baton Rouge, you got Goodwood, which is the men's clinic. You have Unique Physique, which is the weight loss clinic, GLP-1, semaglutide, tirzepatide. And then you have Unique Aesthetics and Wellness. That's the aesthetic clinic. By the way, $8 unit Botox. That's not an entry price. It's not a deal. That's an everyday price, $8 unit Botox. Guys, if you use it, great. If not, tell your wife, girlfriend, fiance. Trust me, they'll love it. Plus all the lasers, body contouring, laser hair removal, everything. So Goodwood, Unique Physique, and Unique Aesthetics and Wellness, all in one place on Drusilla in Baton Rouge. You want to look and feel your best and your healthiest? They can help. Start online at yourgoodwood.com. That's yourgoodwood.com. Lowest prices, never any contracts, yourgoodwood.com.
In South Louisiana, you can always count on good people coming together to help our children.
At Dreams Come True, we grant wishes for Louisiana children with life-threatening illnesses. But to do this, we need funds.
That's why we're trying to raise $100,000 for Dreams Come True by giving away the Blessed Children's School.
Make your backyard's dream come true while helping our kids.
Just go to dreampoolla.com and you can find out how your $25 donation might help win you a Duplessis pool.
Parish Construction and Roofing.
This is Coach Kim Mulkey. Go to parishbuilt.com for all of your roofing needs.
From your hometown, parishbuilt.com.
My father, J.B. Faugu, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even J.B. could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of J.B. Faugu.
These ice cubes could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they cradle and cool the crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Nicely done, ice cubes.
Baton Rouge's home for real rock. It's Eagle 98.1. Foo Fighters. Led Zeppelin. AC/DC. Pearl Jam. And the flagship home for LSU sports. Take us anywhere with the Eagle 98.1 app. Eagle 98.1 is the rock station.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
I'm Lawyer Locke Meredith. We are honored and humbled to receive from our clients in Google. Based on 5-star client reviews, the designation of our law firm is highly recommended. Whether you hire us at all, please give us a call, 272-5555. You have nothing to lose.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith. Injuries happen when you least expect them to, making your life more complicated. At Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan & Associates, we
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com. After further review, this is the Fantasy Football Blitz.
Do you know who I am?
Powered by whotostart.net.
Who the hell are you?
Whotostart.net. The Fantasy Football Blitz.
Who the bitten?
This is the Fantasy Football Blitz, powered by whotostart.net.
All right, wrapping up hour number one. Before you set your fantasy football roster, check with our guys over at whotostart.net. Darin Tietgen is here. Yo, man, how are you?
I'm doing good. Thanks, Matt.
Of course. Hey, let's start with tonight. All right, Jets, Patriots, because the New York teams always have to be in primetime, even though they suck. What are we keeping an eye on tonight?
Yeah, this should be one of those uglier Thursday night matchups.
Couldn't be worse than last week, bro. Ooh.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you have guys like Drake May, Stephon Diggs, you're starting them on the Patriots side. The Jets, maybe a Breece Hall in a flex spot. But the guys we're looking at tonight are the tight ends for both teams. Both the Jets and the Patriots defense are pretty bad against opposing tight ends. So if you got Hunter Henry, he should be a nice start. And if you're in a pinch or if you're doing daily fantasy or something like that, Mason Taylor might be playable.
Mason Taylor!
There we go. The Colts and Saints are both on bye. I would imagine Jonathan Taylor being on a bye would be the biggest hit for most people. So what sleepers might we be looking at?
Yeah, we got a replacement running back possibly for you. It looks like Amari DiMercato, and that's a fun name to say.
Hey.
He's probably the best running back that the Arizona Cardinals have. And now that they got Jacoby Brissett in at quarterback, the offense seems to have kind of settled down a little bit, and they're using DiMercato not only in the passing game but between the tackles too. Bam Knight, he gets some carries for the Cardinals, but I think Amari DiMercato is the overall better running backs for the Cardinals. So he might be a good play this weekend for the rest of the season. Then also, this is kind of dependent on injuries, but Darius Slayton, now that Jameis Winston is hurling the rock for the Giants, might be a good play. But if he is not able to suit up, look for Jalen Hyatt to be the deep sleeper.
Okay. By the way, since you brought it, and get your questions in for Darin, email us, tweet us, or text us. Text 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. You want to get your fantasy football questions in for Darin. You mentioned Jameis, so what's a realistic expectation here for Jameis this weekend?
You know, he could throw for 3 touchdowns or he could throw for 3 interceptions. That's part of his allure, you know.
No doubt.
He's going to go out there and fling the ball around. I mean, Wan'Dale Robinson was already a starter in most fantasy circles. Now he's, going to get peppered with targets. But it's the guys like Darius Slayton and Jalen Hyatt, the deep guys, that might see a bump up in value with Jameis Winston in tow.
All right. If you've got questions, you can always get them at Darin online at whotostart.net, the numeral 2, whotostart.net, or you can get them in right here Thursdays before you set your fantasy football roster. Check with us. Email us, tweet us at Matt Moscona. You can jump at the Body Forward YouTube chat or text 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. Hey, Ronnie says he's got a quarterback question. PPR league, Davis Mills or Jordan Love. Who to start?
I think I'm going to stick with Love there. Mills looks pretty good in C.J. Stroud's stead last week, but Jordan Love, he spreads the ball around. He should get you, 2 touchdowns. I think Davis Mills is a little bit more risky. I think if you want to play it safer, you go with Jordan Love there.
Let's see. Well, I refreshed this. It's a little slow to refresh, Darin. I'm sorry. Are there any I'll let you fill here while I wait for this to refresh because it's just taking a little second. Sure. You mentioned a few sleepers. Any other questions that you're getting peppered with pretty regularly here so far this week?
Yeah, we're hearing a lot of stuff about, what's going to happen with guys like Garrett Wilson. Is he going to come back after his 4 weeks on the IR? I mean, that puts us in the middle of December. So do you hold on to a guy like Garrett Wilson? If you don't have an IR spot, it's real tough to keep that bench spot, locked up by a guy who's hurt for 4 weeks. So we're hearing a lot of things about injuries, who to replace those guys with, that kind of thing.
Man, I'm sorry, Darin. I would keep refreshing, and it's not. I don't know if it's an issue with my phone with the app right now or something like that. It's just not refreshing right now for questions. So if there's anything else you got that people are hitting you with that you feel people should know, let me know. Otherwise, we'll jump. You got anything else?
Next week we're going to be putting in a new promo code to get people some more discounts on our services. So next week I'll let you know about that.
Man, my apology. I know people love the segment. I always get a ton of questions, and it's just not refreshing, so I'm sure it's backlogged, and I'll get pinged 1,000 times tonight. But in the meantime, if you weren't able to get in today, that's on me. I'll own it. Get your questions into Darin. Go to the website, who2start.net, the numeral 2, who2start.net. Get your personalized fantasy football questions before you set your roster. Check with the guys at who2start.net. Hey, man, I appreciate it. We'll do it again next week.
Sounds good.
All right, thanks, man. It is after further review. My apologies, y'all. Golly, I don't know why. It's not refreshing. Anyway, I apologize. We always get pinged with 1,000 questions on that segment on my text app, and it's just not refreshing today, so I apologize. That's on me. We'll do better next week. All right, it is after further review. SportsCenter's coming up here in just a quick second, and we're going to talk in 20 minutes to Quinn Grovy, who a former Arkansas quarterback who is a color analyst on the radio broadcast, but also want to talk a little bit about the Saints and a potential free agent they might be looking at here in their bye week. Hey, let me remind you about Shough Tire and Auto Service, ShaughBillsTire.com. With locations all over South Louisiana, you're never far from a Shough location. ShaughBillsTire.com, ShaughBillsTire.com. You can check them out there at the website. Shop tires online, name brand tires at wholesale prices. For example, right now through December the 9th, you can get $80 back when you buy a set of 4 select Michelin tires and free installation, which is a $118 value when you use your Shough Bills credit card. So they'll always work hard to blend the manufacturer's offer with their in-house offer to get you the best price possible over at Shough Bills. Before you travel this holiday season, you need new tires, go to Shough Bills. ShaughBillsTire.com. Shough Bills, we keep you rolling. All right, SportsCenter's coming up. Get you caught up on national headlines. Busy hour 2 straight ahead. Starting off with a free agent the Saints could target. It's AFR.
AFR.
We are brought to you by Arco Power Systems, arco.com, arco.com, ARCCO, arco.com. This is Generac Industrial Generator Power. So this is not your home standby generator. So this is not for your home. I'm talking to business owners. And it doesn't matter what kind of business that you operate. If I ask you the question, what happens to your business when the power goes out? Well, you need an answer to that question. And Arco is that answer. For 4 decades, too. They're incredible. I mean, our municipalities, government schools, critical infrastructure, our hospitals, power systems, our power grid, they rely on Arco Power Systems. So should your business. And they have turnkey options. Sales, installation, service, rentals, they do it all. You need standby generator power for when the power goes out. You need Arco Power Systems. Arco.com, arco.com, ARCCO.
Trust isn't given, it's earned by showing up, leading the way, and performing at your best when it matters most. Our Lady of the Lake sports medicine experts know what it takes to improve performance and build champions at every level. That's why LSU chose Our Lady of the Lake as its championship health partner, trusting Louisiana's best medical team to care for our state's best athletes. From championship athletes to everyday champions, trusted care starts here.
I trust the lake.
When you can't rely on technology, you can rely on Mountain Cold Refreshment. Dave's back on. Coors Light. Choose chill.
Raising Cane's is our victory meal.
Football fans are some of the most dedicated fans in sports. It's a fundamental quality we share, and that fuels every single order of our hand-battered chicken fingers. Wherever there's football, there's Raising Cane's.
One love. Let's go.
Supreme Jasmine is premium American-grown rice. From local farms to your table, every grain is supreme. Pick up a bag of Jasmine or any other of our Supreme American rice.
It's not just a game, it's a religion. You've got your team colors, team swag, and now your very own website. LouisianaSports.net. Everything LSU, Saints, and Pelicans. Sports on demand. In-depth coverage by sports writing pros with continuously updated news. And with the LouisianaSports.net newsletter, you get pinged directly with top trending stories. Best of all, now and always, no paywall. It's free. LouisianaSports.net. Powered by 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Your home for Louisiana sports.
In South Louisiana, you can always count on good people coming together to help our children.
At Dreams Come True, we grant wishes for Louisiana children with life-threatening illnesses. But to do this, we need funds.
That's why we're trying to raise $100,000 for Dreams Come True by giving away the Blessed Builders School.
Make your backyard's dream come true while helping our kids.
Just go to dreampoolla.com and you can find out how your $25 donation might help win you a Duplessis pool.
Every winner knows a great play starts with a solid game plan and the right team by your side. At Sunshine, we're here to keep your operation running strong. From tractors to harvesters, we've got the John Deere equipment you need to tackle every job with confidence. Because when the work's done right, there's more time for the things that matter, like cheering on your favorite team.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. Arkansas Athletic Director Hunter Yurachek, approved as the College Football Playoff Selection Committee Chairman, takes over from Mack Rhodes, who took a leave of absence as committee chair in Baylor AD for personal reasons amid a university investigation. NFL Patriots, on their best run in 7 years, welcome the Jets tonight. Opening game of NFL Week 11. 8-2 New England's won 7 straight. Second-year quarterback Drake May, he has been spectacular, and of the QBs drafted since 2020, he's the one to start a franchise with, believes ESPN NFL analyst Dan Orlovsky.
I'm going to go Drake May at number 1. This goes a little bit back to college football because in college football, I loved this guy. I loved calling his games. I fell in love with the character. I fell in love with the traits. He's taking a rebuilding organization, rebuilding football team, and having them as legit contenders in the lead for the MVP in the NFL right now. I would go Drake May.
Texans quarterback C.J. Stroud out a second straight game against the Titans on Sunday because of a concussion. Davis Mills starts in his place for the second straight game.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Candy. Coming up Friday, I'll tell you why 2 preseason Super Bowl contenders are facing must-wins this upcoming weekend. It's Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's ride!
Hour 2, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. I'm Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Paul O'Neal.
They're chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
Muso. And Mr. Toby Tom Play. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Quinn Grovy will be here in 15 minutes. Good friend of the show, former Arkansas quarterbacks, color analyst on the Arkansas Radio Network. Excited to have Quinn here, talk a little bit about the game this weekend. Mike Triplett will be here in hour number 3. Speaking of, the Saints go into their bye, and I guess it's a good opportunity to sit back, catch your breath, exhale a little bit, kind of evaluate where you are through 10 games and look at what you're hoping to learn about your team over the next 7 games, considering you're really not going to be playing for anything of significance, which we well know. It was a pretty miserable start to the season, the longest losing streak and worst start for the Saints since 1981, of course, when they had the first overall pick back then. So a dramatically different feeling this week going into the bye, coming off a win where you're feeling good about Tyler Shough's performance as opposed to what you felt just 7 days ago when the Saints were amid that awful losing streak and that awful start at 1-8. But there is, one position I think that's worth looking at here. I mean, they're all always worth looking at, but we've talked a good bit about Blake Grovey and his start to the season. He's 17 of 23 on the year. He's missed 6 kicks. He's missed 1 from inside of 40. He's missed 2 in the 40 to 49 range. He's missed 3 of his kicks beyond 50 yards, which really is a problem because last week against Carolina, you had 2 opportunities at manageable kicks, 1 from 45, 1 would have been from 57 just before the half, that you didn't even attempt. And I know the argument, well, there was wind and I'll save it. This is the National Football League. You got dudes out there drilling 67-yarders. I mean, even kicks that, I was watching Sunday Night Football. There was a kick made from 57 that would have been good from 70. Upper middle of the net. You have to be capable of that. You have to be able to score when in the National Football League. You have to feel confident in the guy you're running out there is going to get you points. And those instances where you're not even confident running him out there, that's really a problem. So they can lean into their confidence in Blake Grovey and feeling like he's got great upside and ability, but ultimately it has to translate. I don't care if you hit it 350 off the tee on the driving range. Can you pump it down the fairway when you get on the course? I don't care if you chip and putt for days on the practice green. When you're standing over a 12-foot putt on Saturday at the Masters, can you drain it? That's what matters, and that's the same thing with kickers. And it's got to be a miserable life to live because you can have ability, but you have to be able to perform. Cade York's a great example of that. LSU has not had a more talented kicker, leg talent, in the history of the program than Cade York. He was a 4th-round draft pick. They used a 4th-round draft pick on a place kicker. That's how good of a talent Cade York is. And he just can't figure it out consistently to stay on an NFL roster, which is really disappointing, but that's the reality. And you don't get to just keep missing kicks. And I bring this up because Justin Tucker's suspension has been lifted. He agreed to a 10-week ban on the personal conduct policy investigation, which regarding all the allegations about the massage therapy sessions. He's a free agent following his release by the Ravens. So he served his time, even though he wasn't on a team. But now he's available to be signed. And so you weigh 2 things with Justin Tucker. Number one is, do you want the distraction of a guy who has the personal conduct policy history hanging over his head? And I guess the way that I look at it is he was suspended. He served his time. Are you willing to bring him back? If it's too much of a distraction, then I guess the answer is no. If he makes your team better, and again, he was penalized, he served his suspension, he's available to be signed, are you willing to sign him? You could absolutely argue that you have a guy that now is near the end of his career, at one time was the most accurate kicker in the history of the league. He's a 5-time first-team All-Pro. He is, by any measure, a Hall of Fame kicker, has a Hall of Fame resume. Spent 13 seasons in Baltimore, but last year was the worst year of his career. His field goal percentage rate was 73%. The previous low was a decade prior, 2015, at 82.5%. Again, his career low was 82.5% until last year when it dipped to 73.3%. So I think you weigh the question, are you willing to live with the allegations? That's number one. If the answer is no, then it's like multiplying by 0. All his ability to kick, not kick, whatever, it's no, right? If you're not willing to live with the allegations. If you are, then it's absolutely worth a flyer. Now, the other part of this is the Saints stink. They're bad. They're 2-8. maybe you look at the next 7 games as a real-life tryout for Blake Grupe for the rest of his career in New Orleans. Because Tucker isn't a long-term solution for you. And it might make more sense for a team that's in contention for something, that's having issues with their place kicker, to sign Justin Tucker to get them through a season where they're actually competing. The Saints aren't competing for anything. So it might make more sense to play the long game and continue to risk or invest, I should say, in Blake Grupe. Unless if you think Justin Tucker has a second act. Because, we can look at someone like, Morton Anderson, who spent 13 years of his career in New Orleans. The Saints thought he was done. He goes and kicks for Atlanta for another decade, becomes their all-time leading scorer. Tucker's 35 years old. How much more does he have in him? I don't know. He did have the worst season of his career last year. Does that mean he's done? I don't know that either. But if you told me you might have another 3 to 5 years of peak Justin Tucker, prime Justin Tucker, I would take that over figuring out what you think you might have with Blake Grupe. But if nothing else, I would certainly bring him in for a workout. I'd try him out to see what's there. Because you're another 2 missed field goal game by Blake Grupe away from throwing your hands in the air and saying, this experiment is over, and it's not fair to the guys on the team right now who are trying to win games that the guy you keep paying to kick can't make kicks. I mean, the first 2 games of the season, Blake Grupe cost you. Undeniably. He has cost you opportunities to win games this year. So, how much longer are you going to live with that? My hope would be you would at least, if you're okay with the allegations with Tucker, having served a suspension, you would at least bring him in for a workout to see if there's anything left in the All-Pro Future Hall of Fame leg for Justin Tucker, because that may be a better option for 3 to 5 years than continue to try this charade with Blake Grupe to see if he's ever going to figure it out, because it sure doesn't seem like he will. All right, it's after further review. We're brought to you by Our Lady of the Lake, championship health partner of LSU Athletics, OLOLRMC.com/LSU. That's the website if you want to go find more about that championship health partnership between Our Lady of the Lake and LSU. OLOLRMC.com/LSU. By the way, I love telling you about all the great NIL deals that they've done. You're seeing all the ads for Harold Perkins and Jack Pyburn running right now. Well, we're switching toward basketball season. Flaugier is one of their NIL athletes as well, which is phenomenal to see. So you're going to start to see a lot of those ads with Flaugier around. OLOLRMC.com/LSU. Of course, whether it's athletics and sports medicine, if it's Our Lady of the Lake taking care of the LSU students at the Student Health Center, if it's the many different ways that they're innovating through research and academic excellence, it's Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, that championship health partnership you can learn more about at OLOLRMC.com/LSU. Our Lady of the Lake and LSU. Together, we roar. All right, it's after further review. We're glad to have you hanging out with us here. Let me knock on a break, y'all. We're going to head up to Northwest Arkansas. Quinn Grovy, former Hog quarterback and color analyst on the Arkansas Radio Network, is going to join us next to preview the Hogs. Don't you move. It's AFR.
AFR.
Speaking of guys that have done amazing NIL deals with Tiger athletes, how about Gordon McKernan at Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys? Get Gordon and get it done. Go to getgordon.com, getgordon.com, getgordon.com. Certainly when you go to the website, see about all the different NIL deals that Gordon's done. Tell you all the time also about The Garage, which is the podcast studio Gordon opened. Has a lot of sit-downs with his NIL athletes on the G team. But they also do so much more. Really excited about the bicycle giveaway that we get to tell you about every year here around the holidays. So Gordon this year is giving away 600 bicycles to less fortunate children. Love that. He's often told the story that one of his greatest Christmas memories, waking up on a Christmas morning and having that red Schwinn bicycle. And I think so many people can relate to that. It's one of the reasons that Gordon has chosen bicycles to give away during the holidays. So you want to figure out how you can win one of 600 free bicycles all over the state of Louisiana, by the way. Go to getgordon.com, getgordon.com, or any of the social medias at getgordon. Get Gordon and get it done.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Attention diesel mechanics. River Parish Contractors has an immediate full-time opening with benefits. Valid licenses and TWIC card is required to apply. Call or text Big Jake today at 985-479-9858 or go to rpcontractors.com and click on Apply Now. Come be part of the team that values hard work, has a high standard of excellence, and delivers projects on time and safely. River Parish Contractors. Let's get building.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs. Set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online or text or call for free confidential help now.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith with Locke Meredith, Shaugh & Fagan & Associates. We take great pride in educating our clients about their rights. Whether you're injured at work or while you drive, call our office at 272-5555. Knowledge is power, and you should know your rights after an injury.
Hi, I'm Shaugh Fagan of Locke Meredith, Shaugh Fagan & Associates. When insurance companies have been unfair, we've never been afraid to go to trial. Fighting hard to protect your rights, we never settle a case out of convenience. We only settle when it's right for you. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs. Set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online or text or call for free confidential help now.
Flight by Yingling is raising the bar by crafting the next generation of light beer. With only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories, this is premium.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalvr.com. The Tigers are on the hunt. Let's head behind enemy lines to preview this week's matchup.
We're coming off a bye week, and I feel good about our health. It was a good time for us. We were able to get guys back feeling better and healed up, so that's good. Had some good practices. It's always an exciting place to go play at LSU. Unbelievable crowd, unbelievable stadium, hostile environment. So we're gonna, enjoy the experience and go down and compete and play as hard as we can and try to find a way to win the game.
It's Arkansas interim head coach Bobby Petrino earlier this week. Of course, he was the coach for one of the biggest games ever in this series back in 2011, a top 5 matchup with number 1 LSU and number 3 Arkansas at the time when Darin did Darin things. Quinn Grovy, former Arkansas quarterback, part of the Arkansas radio network there. Color analyst will be on the broadcast Saturday in Tiger Stadium. Good enough to join us. Yo, man, good to chat as always. How are you?
Matt, how's it going, man? Good to be back on the show.
Well, we appreciate it, but I would assume that life in Northwest Arkansas around this program is very similar to what it's like down here. Far more interest in the coaching search than the season, I would assume. Is that about how it's going right now?
Well, absolutely. I mean, the coaching search is definitely taking a life of its own. And, initially when Bobby took over, a lot of people, was behind Bobby, wanting Bobby Petrino to be the coach. And there's still a lot of people that want him to be a part of it. So I think he's a candidate involved in that particular search. Anytime you go through something like this, it's so good to have a coach on your staff that's been a head coach at the particular spot that he's at. he was able to take over immediately. I mean, he implemented his system quickly. He changed practice up just a little bit, and he was able to take control of everything because he knew exactly how to make things work. Now, I mean, we still hadn't won a game, but at the end of the day, I think we've had some things take place where our defense has played just a little bit better, got a couple more stops. The offense is still clicking at a high clip, but just maybe not as productive as we were the first couple of games. But at the end of the day, Bobby Petrino is a solid interim coach, but the coaching search is definitely, we got plane tracking going on. We got all kinds of stuff going on around here, so we'll see how it all plays out.
How are they? I mean, Quinn, there's been opportunities to win games for this Arkansas team. How are they sitting there at 2-8?
It's incredible. I mean, I sit up there every single week wondering how we're going to find a way to lose a football game. And it just seems like now these are not just like losses. These are last possession losses.
Yeah.
I mean, you have an opportunity to beat Ole Miss. You beat Ole Miss. I mean, it's going to be a different ball game. And I mean, just the last 7 games we've lost, the only game that has been out of control is Notre Dame. And we've had an opportunity to win with our offense on the field. We've had an opportunity to win with our defense on the field. And it's a situation where we fumble the football or we miss a tackle or we do something like that. But the thing about it is this is a dangerous football team because they're going to be in just about every game. They're going to be in every game. We hadn't been able to get over the hump. But right there, you're talking about one-score games all throughout this entire season with a quarterback like Taylor Green, man. I'm telling you, this is a dangerous football team. I know that's funny to say, and I know in Baton Rouge people are like, oh man, this guy's crazy. But when I tell you a 2-7 football team to say that they're dangerous, we can be dangerous.
I said 2-8 earlier. It's 2-7 with 3 to go. My apologies. Bad math on my part. But, Quinn, by the way, I'm saying I don't think people here are dismissing this at all because there's a bad-on-bad matchup, which is the LSU offense against the Arkansas defense. But what you just mentioned, the Taylor Green component will spook people because LSU, as good as they've been at times defensively this year, the Achilles heel is their inability to stop running quarterbacks. It was the truth last year. It's been so this year as well. However, the exception was last year at the game at Arkansas, where they really throttled Taylor Green in that offense. So what did LSU do so well last year to limit Green in that offense?
Well, I think it's more about what we have this season. I think our offensive line is much better, and I think the addition of Mike Washington really gives you an opportunity to do a lot of different things differently. So when I say we have the ability to run the football at a high clip, Mike Washington has been such a huge adjustment. And then when you look at what we've done on the offensive line, we moved Fernando Carmona from left tackle into left guard, and then we brought in Corey Robinson, who is a huge, huge human. He's very strong, very athletic. And then the right side of the offensive line is really where we're trying to figure out exactly how we want things to go down. Marion Harris is our right tackle, and then Kobe Branham is our right guard. But we had to play without those guys last week. We had to play two freshmen, and Kavion Broussard and Cash Courtney. So, but I say all I have to say, our offensive line is very physical, and Mike Washington is a very physical running back. So to me, when I answer that question is the difference is we have the ability to run the football from a conventional standpoint. We can turn and hand it to Mike Washington, and he can really give you a lot of problems. The one thing I like about our offense, though, is because we can run the football a couple of different ways. We can turn and hand it in the conventional inside zone, outside zone, but then when things get tough, we can also get into some zone read type things as well that's really going to force, an aggressive defensive front to play responsibility football. So that helps us. And then the third leg of that is when we drop back to pass, Taylor Green's always going to be able to find that backside A gap and backside B gap if you don't spy him. So those three components to me are really the difference. And then I would say the biggest thing for me is not only, we talked about the offensive line and the running backs, but Taylor Green is in year 2 of Bobby Petrino's offense. This guy leads the country in total offense. He's averaging 335 yards a game. He's running it at a high clip. He's throwing it at a high clip. Now, the last 4 games, it hadn't been normal Taylor Green. He's only completing 62% of his passes. Back when I was playing, that was a good clip. In a Bobby Petrino offense, you want to be at 70, 75%. And so he's got to just make sure that When LSU comes after him, they better get him. But if they drop back and drop 8, then he's going to have to make sure he gets through his progressions and not turn the football over.
Quinn Grovey's our guest. Knows what he's talking about. During his career, ran for nearly 1,800 yards, threw for 4,500 yards as an Arkansas quarterback. So, dual threat quarterback, something that you know a good bit about. Quinn, I don't doubt at all that Taylor Green's going to move the football and Arkansas is going to score. He's awesome. I mean, you're right. I mean, except the Notre Dame game, they've scored on everybody. But when you flip it over, that bad on bad matchup is fascinating. LSU can't score. They have not scored. They scored more than 25 against any FBS opponent this year. Stunning. And Arkansas can't stop nobody. So make sense of that matchup for me.
Yeah, and that's this reminds me kind of the Auburn matchup where we felt like Auburn was tailor-made for us with their offense and our defense, because our defense has been sick and we needed something to help us get right. We thought the Auburn offense was going to be there for us. Now, we were able to get off the field just a little bit more, and we got a pick 6 for a touchdown, which really helped us out. We still lost the football game. But this is one of those things, too, where LSU, they have the athletes. And the one thing that I'll go back and take a look at is last year's game with LSU. I just thought that Nussmeier, we played a lot of zone last year, and he was just dinking and dunking us. And then he got an opportunity to go over the top, and he would do that. And so I just think we've got to find a way to make sure we slow down that run right off the bat. It's going to come down to that front 4, which we have not been able to stop the run the way we need to. And so our linebackers are going to have to be very, very critical and be involved in what you're doing. I know y'all running a lot of 11 personnel, and y'all really want to throw first to open up the run, but we've got to find a way to stop that run, and I just think we've got to find a way to apply pressure. I know protecting the quarterbacks have been something that LSU has struggled with, but it's been difficult for us to get to the quarterback. And so that's going to be something that we have to fight through. Quincy Rose, our defensive end, number 97, he's a guy that is really starting to come on for Arkansas, and he's starting to flash in big ways. He leads our team in sacks with 8 sacks and 14 tackles for loss. So when it comes to penetration plays, he's the guy that you got to watch. And then Cam Ball is just a solid guy on the inside. But we got a guy named Phillip Lee who doesn't get a whole lot of burn out there, but he is very athletic. And then sometimes we'll slip our linebacker, Xavier Story, the transfer from Georgia on the outside. But we've got to find a way to win on first down. We've got to find a way to get after Nussmeier. I just think what you're going to see is you're going to see our secondary, which could be dangerous. I think you're going to see them sit on some of those routes early, try to bite on something early to keep them from throwing short stuff. And I know LSU in the past has been the king of those slot fades, so we got to make sure we watch that as well. But this is a situation where if we can continue to do what we do, this is a matchup that is bad on bad, as you would say. And it's for me to say LSU is bad. I've never looked at a LSU team where I go 23 points a game. I'm looking at a lot of receivers. I don't see anybody even close to 100 yards receiving. The run game. But I just know that y'all got so many athletes out there. The athletes just aren't clicking. And so we just don't need that to be the week that this happens.
Quinn Grovy is our guest, former Arkansas quarterback, color analyst there on the Arkansas Radio Network, being Tiger Stadium Saturday. I mean, this feels eerily, Quinn, to me like that 2021 game where it was a lost season. Ed was the lame duck. Arkansas came in. Remember, Nussmeier replaced Johnson after the first series, played the whole game. Low-scoring game, went to overtime, and Arkansas won it. If you see Arkansas winning the game on Saturday, how do you think the game plays out? Like, do you think it's a high-scoring game, or how do you think it plays out?
Well, for me, I looking at this game, and I've watched a lot of LSU tape, and I know how great the Weeks boys are, and Harold Perkins. I mean, this guy's been terrorizing us for years.
Yeah, you're right.
And so I understand all that. I just think we'll still be able to score points. I think we'll be in that 28 to 30-point range. And I've said it here on radio. LSU, I think they're going to fight to get there if we do what we need to do. To me, the biggest thing that's going to help out a struggling offense in LSU and a struggling defense in Arkansas, I think one of the biggest things for me is going to be in special teams. We don't talk a lot about that, but what I'm talking about that is I'm talking about finding a way to win the hidden yardage battle, meaning if you're backed up and your punter kicks a 65-yard punt down the field to flip the field and force a struggling offense to LSU to try to go the long haul, I think that helps you. We got to find a way to block a kick. We got to find a way to stay on the field with a fourth down conversion in special teams or something like that. I just think we've got to have a punt return, a kick return. We got to have something instead of punt, fair catch, kick, fair catch, those types of things. So I think that third phase, even though it's kind of phasing out just a little bit, the Texas Longhorns has figured out how to come up with punt returns. We've got to figure out how to do something like that as well. That's really going to help us. But I think it's going to be the hidden yardage and forcing LSU to go the long haul offensively, making them dink, dunk, do whatever it takes, and then getting them off the field. Because I do believe that our offense is going to be able to score points. The biggest thing for our offense, I think we got to find a way to run the football for 170 yards to 200. That's going to be a tall, tall task. But I think with the three-pronged approach that we have, we're thinking we have an opportunity, but we know how great that defense is, so it's going to be a challenge.
He is Quinn Grovy, former Arkansas quarterback. Be on the call this weekend there on the Arkansas Radio Network. Man, safe travels. Have a great call Saturday. We appreciate you as always, man.
Headed to Rufino's, baby. Going to Rufino's.
Enjoy it, man. Enjoy it. We'll see you soon.
All right, man. Take care.
Later, bud. That's Quinn Grovy. I joined Quinn and Chuck and the whole crew. I think it was 21 when they came and went over and had dinner with him at Rufino's the night before the game. Great group of guys, man. Always enjoy Quinn. Great perspective. All right, it is After Further Review. We're brought to you by Rouse's, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. Rouses.com, Rouses.com. Great stuff going on over at Rouse's. Remember, this Sunday, a Whit Weeks is going to be at Rouse's on Airline in Long Farm from 2 to 3 with Form Energy. That's our friends over at Mockler, so great partnership there. Of course, OTB, Hester and Flynn, they're at Rouse's on Burbank every Friday during the football season, so that's another great partnership. Look, man, holidays are coming up. If you need to buy all your goods for the holidays, the taste of the holidays, you can do that over at Rouse's. They got your beers and your bourbons and your wines. Great wine selection. Remember, they have the Buy 4, Save More program. The more you buy, the more you save. Gives you an opportunity to try maybe a lot of really interesting wines you might not otherwise try. They got everything over at Rouse's. Rouses.com, Rouses.com. Rouse's. This feels like home. All right, y'all halfway home here on a Thursday edition of AFR presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Elise Sterling in 15 minutes, best bets for the week. When Mike Triplett in 1 hour. When we come back, we'll do what to watch. Muse, Paula, and I'll give you 3 things to keep an eye on this football weekend. Stay with us on AFR.
After Further Review.
Let's Rev, R-E-V, letsrev.com, letsrev.com. Need high-speed internet for your home? Letsrev.com. Need high-speed internet for your office? Letsrev.com. Need home automation? Letsrev.com. R-E-V, letsrev.com, letsrev.com. Rev is backed by 90 years of local service. 90 years in our local market. They have a local call center. So when you call customer service at Rev, you are not talking to a call center in another country. You are not talking to AI. You are not talking to a computer. You are talking to a human being that lives right here in South Louisiana. Let'sRev.com, Let'sRev.com. You want that type of relationship, customer service, and product satisfaction? Let'sRev.com, Let'sRev.com. Switch today. 5 gigs of high-speed internet backed by an all-fiber network and 90 years of local service. Let'sRev.com.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your environmental impact to help protect our planet. Together, we're fueling our energy future. Atmos Energy.
Mornings with Brian Haldane is the only live and local talk show in the capital city. Get the news from the newsmakers, along with traffic and weather updates throughout the morning. The conversation starts weekday mornings at 6 on Talk 107.3.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values.
committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
After a decade of working in private duty nursing, I know how hard it can be to find compassionate care for the ones that you love the most. So I started Decision Critical, a premier concierge nursing agency, so we can take care of you wherever you are. Our highly skilled nurses provide exceptional care from the comfort of your own home with personalized packages for short-term, long-term, or even around-the-clock care. Visit us at decisioncriticalbr.com and give us a call today to get started.
Today, we are shaping tomorrow.
We are researching how extreme stress impacts the immune system, from trauma victims to athletes and even astronauts.
Our work is leading the way in sepsis treatment, saving countless lives.
We're unlocking the mind with music in exciting new ways.
Our Lady of the Lake Health and LSU are improving the health of our state.
That's the impact of champions.
Imagine the impact we'll have on the future. Together, we roar.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith. At Locke Meredith, Shough, Fagan & Associates, we know each case and client are unique, and that no two cases are the same. But one thing remains constant, and that is our passion to help our clients. After an accident, we know your life has changed, which is why we passionately fight to make you and your family whole. Remember, whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555. We're here to serve you.
Parish Construction and Roofing.
This is Coach.
After Further Review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com.
All right, Lee Sterling's here in 10 minutes. His best bets of the weekend. We're glad you're hanging out with us. We always appreciate Decision Critical. I always say it. It's not just healthcare. It's healthcare for your lifestyle, especially, remember, physicians. If you don't know about the services Decision Critical provides, you should be referring your patients to Decision Critical. You want to have a discovery phone call or meeting with Blazia? My goodness, please do it. DecisionCriticalBR.com. DecisionCriticalBR.com. All right, every Thursday, Muse, Pauly, and I give you 3 things to watch heading into the football weekend. We call it What to Watch. Let's do it.
Here's what we're watching this football weekend.
Muse, start us off.
Will do. Watching Duke in Virginia, and you might ask why I'm watching that. Because
why are you watching that?
I'll tell you. This is part of a potential doomsday scenario for the ACC. Duke right now has a 30% chance to win the ACC. That is the best odds in the entire league. If that happens, there's a real fear that JMU, James Madison, ends up getting the last automatic bid for a highest-ranked conference champion above Duke. Also, you have Virginia coming in off a loss to NC State, so their title hopes very much alive as well. This is an interesting one to watch, given the ACC's hope in the college football playoff.
I'm going to be keeping an eye on Florida and Ole Miss, more so for the Lane Kiffin watch. This was a game that cost Ole Miss a playoff spot last season when the Gators upset Ole Miss 24-17. Rebels shouldn't have any trouble this go-around with Florida. We all know Billy Napier's been fired. Billy Gonzalez takes over as the interim. So will the coaching carousel talk motivate Kiffin, or will the Rebels, or will it be a distraction in their hunt for the playoff spot?
Arch Manning has thrown for 300 yards and 3 touchdowns each of the last 2 games. Last quarterback to do that at Texas was Sam Ehlinger back in 2018. He's found his groove, seemingly. Now they go to Athens to take on the Bulldogs, where Phil Steele has told us for many years Georgia is a terrible home favorite. If Texas wants to make the playoff, they got to win out. They got to win this game. They got to beat A&M. Georgia has been just chugging along since their loss to Bama. Big spot for both of these teams. Remember, Georgia still has to play Georgia Tech, and that's a game that's going to be in Atlanta at Mercedes-Benz Stadium coming up here in a few weeks. But huge implications for the playoffs with Texas at Georgia this weekend.
Top 25 matchup in the Coliseum. USC welcomes in Iowa. This is a big one for the Trojans. They're a dark horse there for the at-large bid of the playoff out of the Big Ten, but they really need this stretch right here. Their best win right now is Michigan. They have Iowa coming in this weekend, and then they head up to Oregon the weekend after that. This is a big one for USC. Remember, they're really good at home when they don't have to cross those time zones. Phil Steele's beat that into our head here for the last 2 years. Keep an eye on this one as USC looks to finish out the season 10-2.
To the NFL, I'm going to be watching Seahawks and Rams. This is a battle for the top spot in the NFC West. Both teams are currently 7-2, both riding a 4-game win streak. Matthew Stafford's playing at an MVP level. Puka Nacua, Jackson Smith, and Jigba both having great seasons. Should be a great offensive matchup. These two teams will meet again in late December.
I'm watching Oklahoma-Bama. I'm just waiting for Alabama to lose. I've been waiting a long time since the opener. But this will be the best defense that Alabama faces all year. And we know how this game went a year ago where Alabama basically cost themselves an at-large berth when they lost 24-3 to an awful Oklahoma team. And this Oklahoma defense is better than the one they faced a year ago. Now Alabama's offense is better with Ty Simpson. But a massive position here. Alabama's gotten revenge against Tennessee and Vandy, two teams that beat them last year. This would check the box for the trifecta there. But the Sooners, with 2 losses, can't afford another loss if they want to keep their playoff hopes alive. They're just outside of the at-large conversation looking in. This would be a win that presumably would move them in to the playoff at-large conversation and would mean Alabama would have to win the Iron Bowl at Jordan-Hare to secure themselves seemingly a playoff spot. Oh, the drama. Muse, can you imagine if Bama loses this game and then manages to go, if Kalen DeBose loses this weekend and then goes next or at the Iron Bowl and loses to a sub-500 Auburn team with an interim head coach, oh my God. I just need this. I deserve this. I deserve this. After the season that I've had, I deserve this. Make it happen, Sooners. Man. Go get it.
If the Baltimore Ravens are going to win the AFC North, that starts Sunday against the Cleveland Browns. Baltimore's 1 game out of first place in the North after the disastrous start. Lamar Jackson back at practice, but here's why it starts Sunday. Baltimore's played 1 division game so far. 1. They beat the Browns in week 2. 4 of their next 5 are against the division, including 2 against the Cincinnati Bengals. This is big. Lamar's hoping to start Sunday. If he's there, look for a big win potentially for Baltimore and them getting right back on track in the AFC North.
Another good matchup in the NFL, Chiefs and Broncos. The Broncos are tied with the best record in the NFL currently. Denver has a chance to really put a hold on the Chiefs' 9-year division win streak. A win over the Chiefs will give them a 5-game lead in the division over the Chiefs. They currently have a 1-game lead over the Chargers, but you can never count out Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. Denver has won 7 in a row.
Bounce back for Buffalo and the Bucks. Tampa against Buffalo. Bills are 5.5-point favorite. Both teams embarrassing losses last week. Tampa against New England. Buffalo against Miami, which really, really was bad. The Bucks offense, which remember at one point in this season, Baker Mayfield was the odds-on favorite to be the league MVP, really regressed over the last month. They're 29th in EPA since week 7. The Bills are coming off their worst performance of the season against the Dolphins. So bounce back spot for the Bucks and the Bills. Couple of division leaders. We'll see how it goes on Sunday. Bills, by the way, favored by 5.5 in that one. All right, that's what to watch. It's what we're watching. And, of course, we'll be able to see it in perfect 2020 vision. Thanks to the Williamson Eye Center. How about that transition? Huh? Can I get one? By your boy.
You know, I like that one. That one was smooth.
Call the Williamson Eye Center, 924-2020, 924-2020. You want to see 2020? Call 924-2020 at the Williamson Eye Center. Dr. Blake Williamson, he'll get you right, just like he did me 7 years ago. LASIK, PRK, custom lens replacement, EVO, ICL. There's so many different options. Go follow the Williamson Eye Center on social media, and you will see all the different posts about Dr. Blake Williamson teaching and lecturing at conferences all over the world, because he's on the forefront of ophthalmology, and he brings all of that here to our market. So people come from all over the world to see Dr. Blake Williamson. 924-2020. 924-2020. You want to see 2020? Dr. Blake Williamson can help. Call 924-2020 or go to williamsoneye.com. All right, Knock out a final break here of hour number 2. When we come back, Lee Sterling's here with his best bets for the upcoming weekend. Don't you move, it's AFR.
After further review.
Finally got that cold snap, y'all. And a lot of you cranked on your heaters. I know you did. It's okay. I'll forgive you for now. But I need you to call River City's 1 Hour Air. You see them all over town. The big yellow vans and trucks with the giant clock on the side. Your friends and neighbors trust River City's 1 Hour Air. I trust River City's 1 Hour Air because you're going to have expertly trained technicians. They're going to treat you right. They're going to afford exceptional service, customer service. You'll be comfortable with who's in your house. They're never going to upsell you or overcharge you. They're going to give you a good, better, and best option and let you choose what's best for your family, your budget at that time. AJ Talamo sent this 5-star Google review. Darin, his technician, was outstanding. Very professional and personable. Great representative for your company. Again, you're always going to feel comfortable with who's coming in your home representing River City's 1 Hour Air, and they're going to give you exceptional service. 752-0001, 752-0001, where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime.
Banking on the go? Our mobile app makes it effortless. But at Campus Federal, you're more than just an account number. We build relationships with our members, supporting you from saving for college to owning your first home. If you're buying a car, planning a home renovation, or a vacation, we're here to help. Campus Federal Credit Union, your trusted financial partner for every stage of life. Start your journey today.
We typically think of stress as being bad for us. At Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, we are researching how certain types of stress, such as exercise, can be good for our immune health. By studying people under extreme stress, such as athletes, astronauts, service members, and first responders, we're learning how to improve the immune health of everyone. That's the power of research. That's the impact of champions. Together, we roar.
While Louisiana politics can seem like they're from another planet, Moon Griffon isn't afraid to bring politicians back down to earth. Listen to the Moon Griffon Show weekday mornings at 9 on Talk 107.3.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
These ice cubes could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they cradle and cool.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at DecisionCriticalBR.com.
Place your bets, gentlemen.
It's time to head to the window.
Don't gamble it all in one place.
This is Lee Sterling's Best Bets, brought to you by Paramount Sports.
All right, wrapping up hour number 2. We're presented by Decision Critical, DecisionCriticalBR.com. Lee, how are you?
I'm good. Guess things are pretty tough over there.
Needless to say, yes. But onward, 3 games to go. They'll hire a new coach, and people will be happier. The coach might be John Sumrall. Tulane, 17 and a half against FAU. I'm always curious when coaches are being rumored for jobs how that impacts things. What do you think about this one, Tulane, the big number against FAU?
When you think things are bad, I just finished doing a show in El Paso, and when I do the UTEP game, they're like, no, please don't even touch the game. So
I'm only going to ask you about LSU out of curiosity.
Yeah, all right. So FAU, how about this, has committed 18 turnovers in 9 games, minus 12 in turnover margin. They throw the ball the most. They put it up 46 times per game, more than anyone. Not even close. But a couple of their games, backdoor's been open here, and I think there might be a distraction. You hit on it with someone maybe going there. I think the backdoor is open. Tulane wins 40-26. FAU covers with a backdoor cover with 42 seconds to go in the game.
I love the specificity. Mark the tape. Ole Miss, same question with Kiffin, all the rumors everywhere. But, man, word out of Oxford this week, Lee, is they are locked in and they are looking to roll over Florida. What do you think about the Rebs at home? 16.5, big number.
This is what's called a money game, and not because Florida's getting paid to play in this game. Lane Kiffin, think about it. If he decides he wants to go to Florida, he lays a number on Florida here. His price goes up to probably close to $15 million. If he stays, I think he gives him a little bit of a hometown discount, except to maybe $12.5, $13 million. I think he personally is going to stay. He is not going to call off the dogs. Florida, by the third quarter last week, had none of their top 4 receivers in the game out injured. I'm hearing DJ Lagway took most of the snaps here with the first team. Not going to matter. This team has packed it in totally here. Ole Miss 40-17.
Big number. All the word out of Oxford this week, Lee, is they are looking to roll over Florida. 2 fascinating games in the conference. Georgia, Texas, Bama, Oklahoma, both with playoff implications. Let's start with Georgia, Texas. Georgia usually not a great home favorite. Was it the number 6.5? What do you think?
So this game reminds me of last year's game. Georgia and Texas. Everybody loved Texas, ranked number 1 in the country. They're going to win at home. They're the changing of the guard. And what happened?
Georgia pounded them.
Georgia, that's it. From the second series on, controlled the game. You can go back and watch the game. It's not even close to the score. It should have been a 25, 30-point win. Now, the shoe's on the other foot. As great as Georgia's been playing, I love Gunnar Stockton, even Mike Bobo, who I've been highly critical of his play calling in the past. He's improved, but there's no urgency for Georgia. They're at 92% to make it to the college football playoffs. Texas loses and they're done. Here's the kicker. Texas with 2 weeks to prepare. I think they're going to pull apart every single snap and look for some looks that give Gunnar Stockton trouble. They're going to come up with some schemes here that he maybe hesitates a little bit. And then on defense, I don't think Georgia's great here, and I think Texas is getting better and can exploit them here. Team favored. Texas straight up, 31-28.
Outright. Man, God, that would make such an intriguing matchup with Texas and Texas A&M here in a couple of weeks if Texas goes and pulls this upset. What do you think about Bama, Oklahoma, Lee?
So when I watched the Oklahoma game against Tennessee, I looked to a couple friends at the end of that game, and we had Oklahoma. I said, we weren't on the right side. We got lucky here. It happens sometimes. You get outplayed, and you still end up with a win, and that was the case in that game. Would you say that was some of the least amount of celebrating you saw from the Alabama team after the game last week against LSU?
Sure. I mean, it was never really. I mean, just the whole vibe around the game was the worst, really, since 2021.
Yeah. Agree. Maybe even one of the worst of all time here. Yeah. So I think Alabama really wants this game here against Oklahoma. They had Ty Simpson. Things might have been different. So they were dominated 24-3 in that game. John Mateer is still not the same. 303 yards passing before the hand injury, just 183 after it here. Under a touchdown, I think Bama's the play, 31-17.
Okay, big win for the Tide at home. Lee Sterling is with us, ParamountSports.com, ParamountSports.com. I told you I'd ask just out of morbid curiosity because it is a bad matchup with LSU and Arkansas. I don't even know how you figure this one out, so I'm dying to hear your thoughts.
Well, I can tell you this much. I'm not going to give it to my clients. I will watch the game, and maybe I see something for future use. But we gotta pick a side here for the show.
Sure.
Tigers' year-long offensive problems reached new lows last week. 9 points here. Heisman Trophy quarterback Garrett Nussmeier was benched. They've now dropped 3 straight, and in 8 games not named Southeastern Louisiana, they've averaged 19.6 points. But the Arkansas defense is horrendous. They've allowed 33 points per game, 39.9 against real competition. I'm hearing Taylor Green is healthy, and they are off a bye, obviously, for the rivalry matchup here with triple revenge. Arkansas, 30-29. Last second field goal.
30-20. Nothing would stun me at this point, Lee.
Right.
I know you got A&M in South Carolina as your game of the week. How do people get it?
Right. First 10 callers, call 800-400-9741. Give them the game for free. 800-400-9741. A really interesting game here. South Carolina dominated last year 44-20. So can Texas A&M get their revenge, or can South Carolina keep it close? Lenore Sellers, a lot of talk about him coming down to Miami. I don't get it. I mean, this guy, how about this? He's gone from almost a 66% completion percentage down to 61. Still talking about him being top 15, 20 pick. So
I don't get it.
We'll see what happens there. And we're rolling every sport, even UFC card with the biggest selection of the year. 31-9 right now, last 8 weeks in the NFL. Check out all the specials, ParamountSports.com.
31-9 in the NFL is a cheat code. ParamountSports.com, ParamountSports.com. Thank you, Lee.
Okay. See you, Matt.
That is Lee Sterling with us every Thursday. 31-9 in the NFL. that is ridiculous. All right, it's after further review. Hey, I was at Lee Michaels yesterday, as a matter of fact. Erica's diamond engagement ring, the main stone, the cushion was falling out of the setting. One of the prongs was broken. Brought it over to Lee Michaels. Some of the pave was missing as well. Brought it over there. They were excellent. Jacob was awesome to deal with. I tell you all the time, they do a fantastic job with the Lee Michaels experience. They've perfected it. You walk in, you know you're there for something special. It's Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. 10 locations, lmfj.com. lmfj.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Hour 3 next.
AFR.
Hey, let me just take this quick opportunity to remind you, Parish Construction and Roofing, of what we're doing with our 12 Days of Christmas. This is not in any way trying to generate business. We're just doing something what we hope will bless a dozen families in December. We've partnered with the Duplessis Builders, Ruckus, and Chris's Specialty Foods. Right now, the entries are open. If you go to our homepage, parishbuilt.com, parishbuilt.com. At the top of the homepage, you'll see the bar for the 12 Days of Christmas. Just tap that, and there's an entry form. Parish Construction Roofing, we're giving a dozen families $1,000. Duplessis Builders is going to match that and give another $1,000. Ruckus is going to give shoes for the families of all of our winners. And then Chris's Specialty Foods is going to give Christmas dinner for all of our winners. So if you know a family that could use a little uplifting this Christmas season, we're happy to help. You can nominate them or pass the link on to them over at parishbuilt.com.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
I'm Lawyer Locke Meredith. If you're battling an insurance company because of a wreck not your fault and they're not calling you back or being fair, whether you hire us at all, give us a call, 272-5555, or email Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan & Associates. You have nothing to lose.
Hello, I'm Collins Meredith. If you've been injured on the job, you'll likely have a workers' compensation claim, but you may also have a tort claim, which opens up significant recovery rights not normally available for a work injury. If this is you, call us or come see us at Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan & Associates.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Parish Construction and Roofing.
This is Coach Kim Mulkey. Go to parishbuilt.com for all of your roofing needs.
From your hometown, parishbuilt.com.
Raising Cane's is our victory meal.
Football fans are some of the most dedicated fans in sports. It's a fundamental quality we share, and that fuels every single order of our hand-battered chicken fingers. Wherever there's football, there's Raising Cane's.
One love. Let's go.
Every winner knows a great play starts with a solid game plan and the right team by your side. At Sunshine, we're here to keep your operation running strong. From tractors to harvesters, we've got the John Deere equipment you need to tackle every job with confidence. Because when the work's done right, there's more time for the things that matter, like cheering on your favorite team. Make Sunshine Quality Solutions part of your playbook this season and learn more about what it means to be powered by Sunshine at sunequip.com.
Flight by Yingling is raising the bar by crafting the next generation of light beer. With only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Flight by Yingling. Raise the bar.
In South Louisiana, you can always count on good people coming together to help our children.
At Dreams Come True, we grant wishes for Louisiana children with life-threatening illnesses. But to do this, we need funds.
That's why we're trying to raise $100,000 for Dreams Come True by giving away the Blessed Builder School.
Make your backyard's dream come true while helping our kids.
Just go to dreampoolla.com and you can find out how your $25 donation might help win you a Duplessis pool.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. Arkansas Athletic Director Hunter Yurachek approved as the College Football Playoff Selection Committee Chairman. The move comes hours after Baylor AD and Selection Committee Chair Mack Rhoades took a leave of absence for personal reasons amid a university investigation. The AFC East leading Patriots carry a 7-game winning streak into the opening game of Week 11 of the NFL season against the Jets tonight. The success New England's had so far in its first season under Coach Mike Vrabel is no surprise to former Packers and Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy.
Things I've always looked for, whether you're competing against another coach as a coordinator, as a head coach, the consistency. He definitely has been consistent in the play style that he demands from his football team, both in Tennessee and New England. It starts in the run game. We all want to run the ball good. We all want to stop the run. And he's done that in both places.
Mike McCarthy on the Pat McAfee Show. It was back to practice today for Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson. He missed yesterday's practice with knee soreness. He apparently is set to start Sunday at Cleveland. NBA Knicks guard Jalen Brunson will not play tomorrow night against the Heat because of a right ankle sprain.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. We make the claims process easy so you can get back on the road in no time. It's why over 43 million drivers trust Progressive. See for yourself at progressive.com.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's rock!
Hour 3, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR. Presented by Decision Critical. Concierge Nursing. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Sir. And Mr. Toby Tom Plague. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. 5 o'clock quitting time. Glad you are driving home with us. Hey, a big shout out if you missed it last night. It was expected. We all knew that this is how it was going to go. But Paul Skenes did, in fact, make history for LSU.
I'd love to announce the 2025 National League Cy Young Award winner from the Pittsburgh Pirates, Paul Skenes.
Well, that's how the announcement sounded. Skenes was watching at his home in Florida, he and Livy Dunn, and I have friends behind him. So Clay Moffitt was there in the room as well, hanging out there watching Skenes make the announcement, the announcement for Skenes, which was awesome to see. Skenes becomes the first former LSU Tiger to win the Cy Young, and he becomes the first pitcher since Dwight Gooden to win Rookie of the Year and Cy Young in back-to-back seasons. So Paul Skenes just continues to make history all the way around. On the MLB Network, here was Skenes talk a little bit about his journey through baseball.
Yeah, I mean, as I look back on my path in baseball up to this point, I got recruited to college as a catcher, kept growing and started pitching and got better on the mound. Never thought I would end up here. Never thought that I would be in the major leagues, much less winning a Cy Young. So it doesn't always work out how you think it's going to. But if you stay the course, you surround yourself with good people, you work hard, that's the minimum. You're going to do exactly what you're supposed to do, whatever that looks like.
How about Helmer's on there? You notice Helmer's on the couch?
Right next to him, man.
I mean, it's like you've got Skenes' parents on one side, and then you've got Livy Dunn and Helmer's. Like, and then 10 other guys and folks behind him. But, like, I don't know how well, there's one more leg. There's one more leg. Yeah. I don't know who that is. There's a leg next to Helmer's. But how Helmer's ended up on the couch. We got to call our guy and see what's going on there. Shout out Louisiana Loaded, by the way. I wonder if there'll be a new episode of Louisiana Loaded.
Has to be, right?
I mean, if he's not there, content creating there in Florida with Livy and Skenes. You know what? The other thing I'll say is that Skenes' reaction has improved. If you go side by side from a year ago when he won the Rookie of the Year to the Cy Young, Livy very excited. Paul Skenes, a sheepish grin, a little nod, nothing to it. There we go. There's the hug from last year. A little hug. But anyway, maybe he's just a little more comfortable winning in this whole I'm winning awards thing.
It looked like a very concerted effort to show a little bit more emotion.
Yeah, like everyone clowned me last year for not doing anything. I got memed.
Exactly.
I got memed a little bit. Like the fat kid with his hand on his stomach, that meme that everybody, like the fat kid, the meme, like, is looking at, like.
Oh, wait, okay, wait, I know what you're talking about now. Yeah, that's a good one.
Maybe you prefer to the Spider-Man pointing.
Yeah, that one.
Lots of. Skenes got me. So anyway, nice smiles, good to see. So he becomes the first starting pitcher with a non-winning record to win the Cy Young. It was Eric Gagne who had a losing record when he won the Cy Young, but he was a closer, had a losing record as a closer. That was the year where Gagne was like 59 of 60 on save opportunities or something like that. Wasn't it something ridiculous like that?
Yeah, no, it was early 2000s. I want to say 2000.
Or you could,
I'm look it up. That's what I'm saying. Let me look it up.
I don't know. I mean, sometimes Muse, you like the other day you learned, and you were like, hey, I'm gonna look that up.
Well, we've talked about it so much, I thought I could pull it.
We have this great thing, the World Wide Web. You ask it something, it'll tell you any answer you want. It's kind of crazy.
I was gonna say 04. It was 03.
03. There you go. Eric Gagne.
55 for 55.
So
as
he
a matter
didn't
of
miss
fact.
any.
He didn't miss any.
Wow, 55. That's incredible. You're bound to slip up once, You hang a breaking ball or something. I don't know. Anyway, congrats to Paul Skenes. That's awesome, man. Cy Young Award winner. Just build a trophy room. Congrats to him. All right, it is after further review. We're glad to have you hanging out with us here. We're brought to you by South Point Volkswagen, southpointvw.com. New and certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online at southpointvw.com, southpointvw.com. Look, check them out. If you're in the market for a new vehicle or might be, make sure you put Volkswagen on your list. 9 different IIHS top safety picks. If you are thinking of buying a vehicle, maybe you're buying a vehicle for your son, daughter. Maybe Christmas is the time that you're buying a new vehicle. They got great deals. And what you'll love about South Point is because they are Louisiana's largest volume Volkswagen dealer, they're going to be able to get you the best price with the best inventory, all the best selection, the best price. You're going to love the fact that you're going to pay a great price. You're going to love the great safety features. They're going to love how stylish and fun it is to drive. If you've never driven a Volkswagen, put it on your list. Go test drive one today at South Point Volkswagen, Louisiana's largest volume Volkswagen dealer. Airline just north of Highland or southpointvw.com, southpointvw.com. South Point Volkswagen, what's your direction? We are going to talk to Mike Triplett here in 12 minutes from right now. In 22 minutes from right now. My apologies. At the bottom of this hour, we'll talk some Saints as the Saints are in their bye week. We will talk some LSU football here in just a second with Frank Wilson set to meet reporters after practice. We're waiting on some updates from that. But a lot of players this week have talked about they have talked a lot about Garrett Nussmeier and Muse, do me a favor. Just fill for 1 second. I'm sorry.
I'll continue on what you were saying there. I mean, I clipped the audio, and you had some great words of encouragement from his teammates. Xavier Thomas sticks out, obviously, in that regard. Jacoby and Guillory, who's on the other side of the ball, absolutely raved about Garrett Nussmeier. He's played with him for so long. And it was really inspiring, actually, to hear the guys.
We're having firewood delivered to the house.
Oh, full cord?
And half a cord.
Half cord, yeah.
But Erica's there, and the guy was pulling up, and he's like, "Where do you want me to go?" So they're texting, like, "Where do you want to go?" I'm like, "I'm in the middle of a segment, but I don't want him to leave." And so then the company's texting me, then the delivery guy's texting me. I'm like, I didn't want him to leave. And so I had to text Erica. I'm like, "Go outside."
Yeah.
Anyway.
Love a good firewood delivery, man. It's always a good time.
Yeah.
That's a good feeling.
I've told y'all, my Sunday tradition, like my own little Sunday tradition for me. This is my me time, which I don't get much of. But I go watch Sunday Night Football. I light a fire in our fire pit. We got a beautiful fire pit outside. And I grill a steak. I get one of those little single serves of wine. So I have a glass of wine. I grill a steak. I smoke a Bocock Brothers premium cigar. I watch Sunday Night Football. I light a fire. And I just stay out there by myself. It's just my me time. So, and I was out of firewood. So I needed more firewood. So I called them. Shout out there. They're called the Firewood Guys, by the way. Shout out. Free plug.
Call it what it is.
Call a thing by its name.
Call it.
They're great. I called them today. They delivered this afternoon. They're great. Seriously. Shout out to them. And for that plug, they should give me my firewood for free. They didn't. I already Venmoed them payment. The Firewood Guys. I've used them the last 2 years. They're great. All right, it's after further review. Oh, LSU basketball. That's what I was going to say. LSU basketball tonight against FIU. Hey, I want to ask Otter about this. I think they're catching on.
Yeah, I just looked at the line,
too. So I looked at it earlier because I was going to play it. LSU in their opener was a 15.5-point favorite. They covered with ease against Tarleton State. Then they were 17.5 or 19.5? 19.5?
19.5.
19.5 against UNO, covered with ease. And now they're a 21.5-point favorite over FIU, who's atrocious.
Yeah, they're bad.
Their only win, and I know this because Hunt wrote a pregame write-up at Louisiana Sports Tonight, which is free, by the way. I think there's nobody who actually cares as deeply about this basketball team, like in this moment, than Hunt Palmer. I say Hunt Palmer and Jason Ramazan are probably the only two people that care deeply, deeply, deeply about the team in this moment. You love the program. Like a lot of people love the pro. I just mean about this team right now in this moment with everything going on. So Hunt is just putting so much effort and love into writing about this basketball team. And God bless him. I don't think anyone's reading it except me. But if you want to read about the basketball team, you can, because Hunt's writing about it, despite my insistence that he not. But he's doing it. And it's there if you choose. You know what? How about do me a favor? Give it a pity read. Give Hunt's LSU basketball stuff a pity read over at LouisianaSports.net. The preview of tonight's game with LSU and an awful FIU team. Let's go make that thing cook. Let's make that LouisianaSports.net. It's up on.
It's free.
Everything's free always at LouisianaSports.net. We ain't charging. No paywalls. Kick rocks with your paywalls. I'm allergic to paywalls. I sat in a meeting one time with a consultant who's trying to convince me to make all of our content here, put all of our here on a paywall. I'm like, I hate you. He's trying to talk to me about how the New York Times is a paywall, and I'm like, I hate you. Leave now. You have terrible advice, sir. No. Anyway, I hate paywalls. I'm allergic to them, so we'll never have a paywall. At least not as long as they let me run stuff. So I'd appreciate it if you just go, just go click on some stuff. And patronize our sponsors. That would be great. All right, it's after further review. We're not going to break. When we come back, when we come back, I do want to let you hear a little bit about what the LSU guys had to say this week about Nussmeier. Been a rough week after last week, but how Nuss has been handling it. And then if we get updates from Frank Wilson, we'll share them with you. Stay here. It's AFR.
AFR.
Glow Resources, what an awesome Louisiana company. Top 100 local companies in Baton Rouge in the Baton Rouge Business Report, and I love their growth. I'm so fired up to see great businesses succeed, great people succeed. Jareth Nakan is certainly one of them. GLO, glowresources.com. They are complete employer solutions, glowresources.com. Check out Glow Resources. If you're a business owner, hiring manager, HR manager, VP, operations, whatever you do, if you're the person in your business responsible for hiring, you need Glow Resources as a resource to you. This is not temp staffing. They're finding permanent solutions. Skilled blue-collar labor or their professional placement division, which is any type of office job, from an office assistant all the way up to the C-suite. They can help you find permanent solutions for the people in your business that are going to make you the most effective. GLOWresources.com. GLO, glowresources.com. Complete employer solutions.
Banking on the go? Our mobile app makes it effortless. But at Campus Federal, you're more than just an account number. We build relationships with our members, supporting you from saving for college to owning your first home. If you're buying a car, planning a home renovation, or a vacation, we're here to help. Campus Federal Credit Union, your trusted financial partner for every stage of life. Start your journey today.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your environmental impact to help protect our planet. Together, we're fueling our energy future. Atmos Energy.
Baton Rouge's home for real rock. It's Eagle 98.1. Foo Fighters. Led Zeppelin. AC/DC. Pearl Jam. And the flagship home for LSU sports. Take us anywhere with the Eagle 98.1 app. Eagle 98.1 is the rock station.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
Flight by Yingling is raising the bar by crafting the next generation of light beer. With only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Flight by Yingling. Raise the bar.
Parish Construction and Roofing.
This is Coach Kim Mulkey. Go to parishbuilt.com for all of your roofing needs.
From your hometown, parishbuilt.com.
Tiger Country is 100.7 The Tiger. In the car on 100.7 FM or on the 100.7 The Tiger app.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com.
What is this team playing for at this point forward?
Playing for LSU. We're playing for Tiger Nation, and the names on the back of our jerseys.
It's Harold Perkins earlier this week. Sounds good. Man, that's a heavy lift. You know, you're going into a game this week where all of the ingredients sort of mix together for an ugly showing. And I understand most people here today are singularly focused on the future. LSU is going to play out the string. There's 3 games left. We've watched LSU do this twice, in the COVID year and 2021. Look, 2021, Ed was a lame duck coach. They weren't playing for anything. They ran Nussmeier. Remember, they started Max Johnson in that game against Arkansas. After one series, they ran Nussmeier out there. He played the rest of the game. Offense was atrocious. They went to overtime and lost to a really bad Arkansas team. Arkansas always gets up. They're coming off a bye. You're going to go in Tiger Stadium Saturday morning at 11:45. There'll probably be somewhere in the neighborhood of 60,000 people there. I mean, it's going to be just swaths of empties. There won't be a lick of emotion in that stadium from the fans to elevate for a home game. I mean, this is one of those games where those players have to look and say, like, are you willing to do exactly what Perk just said there? You're playing for LSU. Like, you elevate yourself because you come into a season with national championship aspirations and it unravels on you. And now you're amid a 3-game losing. They haven't won a game since South Carolina. You realize that? They have not won a game since they beat South Carolina. What was the date on that? Was that October the 11th when they played South Carolina? I mean, it has been a plum month since they won a football game. That's a long thing to go. They did it last year as well when they won a 3-game losing streak with a bye mixed in. South Carolina was October the 11th. So, I mean, you went from South Carolina, Vandy, A&M, Open Date, Alabama, and now Arkansas. From the South Carolina game, kickoff against Arkansas, this will be 5 weeks. 5 weeks without winning a football game. Now, Arkansas has gone longer, but they've been close, man. So, the emotion getting up for this game, I think, is a very real question and a real challenge. And remember, the other thing about that game in 2021 was, like I just said, the 2 quarterback thing. They started Johnson, then played Nussmeier. And this is one of those things where, I mean, they're committed to playing Van Buren. And I don't know that that's a great decision. But how do you time that jump? I've talked about it all week. If you're committing to playing both guys, if the offense goes out there and scuffles, when do you make the decision to go to Van Buren? And if Van Buren struggles, when do you make the decision to go back to Nussmeier? There's just no clean way to do it. There's no blueprint. There's no good answer for having 2 quarterbacks and trying to play them both at all. But one thing that is clear is a lot of these guys and veteran guys have supported, Garrett through a really tough time. Look, Jacobian Guillory, a guy in his 6th year at LSU, came back from that devastating injury, suffered early in the year, that Achilles, to play his 6th season. And he talked about, kind of being there for Garrett.
I've been a teammate of Garrett's for a long time now. I think he came in when I was a sophomore. So regardless of what, even when Jaden was here, I still be I believe in him. That guy, is a hell of a leader. He's a hell of a person. I bled with him, I cried with him. So regardless of what anybody says or what anybody thinks, that's still my quarterback. And I even told Michael, I wanted Michael to go out there and perform. I know he can perform because I know he's a great player also. So we're just going to we're going to put great players on the field and try to give us the best opportunity to win.
See how it goes. Xavier Thomas, similar, talking about Garrett.
That's my brother, bro. Even outside of football, checking on me, I'm checking on him. When I'm down, he by my side. And when he down, I'm by his side. And that's just speaking how close we is, how much we love and care for each other. So just being able to pick him up when he's down and him being able to pick me up when I'm down, that's just something that we really rely on, because this game that we play, it brings real relationships outside of the game. And I really think that's something that a lot of people may not wonder, but those players in their locker room, we lifelong friends.
I love to hear that. And that gives you hope that maybe they can elevate. The reality is I got a 9-game sample of what this team is offensively. And if we thought they might, spark something different with a new voice, with the quarterback change. You still had the same issues a week ago against Alabama that you've had the previous 8 games. It's a lot of screens. It's the inability to stretch the field in the passing game, the inability to protect your quarterback. You can't run the football. I mean, it's the same stuff. You can't finish drives. You get in the red zone, you stall, costly penalties. It's the same stuff. It doesn't matter if it's Nussmeier or Van Buren. It doesn't matter if it's Arkansas or Alabama. It's the same thing against everyone you've played. So I would love to see LSU go out there Saturday morning and just flip a switch and have everything click. And the offense go and you feel and leave with a really good feeling like, that's what it was supposed to look like. But it's a reality, man. You know, we talk about it all the time in sports where so seldom does the product live up to the hype. If it's a big fight in MMA or boxing, if it's all the build-up for a Super Bowl. I mean, you know the average margin of victory in Super Bowls is like 2 touchdowns. It's just very seldom that you get 28-3 with the Patriots coming back and winning in overtime. You know what I mean? You just Scott and Norwood. Those results are few and far between. What you get more often than not is Seattle blowing out Denver. It just very seldom lives up to the hype. So when it does, game of the century, 9-6 in overtime, we remember it forever. And this is one of those seasons for LSU where it just didn't live up to the hype. You had tons of talent. You had all the people back, all the expectation. You know, your preseason top 10. Everyone believed this team was worthy of preseason top 10, would be a contender. You get the win at Clemson. Nuss was a preseason Heisman co-favorite there with Klubnik. And it's just been awful. So I would love to think that they can elevate. I just think you have a big enough sample size to suggest that's not really going to happen. Now, the other thing we're going to see is playing with 2 quarterbacks, and Xavier was asked about that being the challenge of playing with 2 quarterbacks rotating during the game.
Not really. Both of the quarterbacks are really good quarterbacks. They both know what they're doing when they get out there. They both know how to handle the big stage. They both know how to win games. So as long as we coming out with the win, that's all that matters. And I believe both of them put us in great position to win the game.
Hope so. Would love to see the Tigers go play well and find a way to scratch out a win. Arkansas on the flip side, they're a 2-7 football team, and they just keep losing close games. And bad teams find a way to lose. And Arkansas is a bad football team. But they do have a really explosive quarterback that presents a unique challenge. Not unique, but a challenge for the LSU defense that does expose the weakness of the LSU defense, the inability to stop a running quarterback. And on the flip side, it's bad on bad. I mean, Arkansas hadn't stopped anybody all year defensively, but LSU hadn't moved the ball any year offensively. So we'll be watching on Saturday morning. All right, it's After Further Review. We're brought to you by Evermore, EVAMOR, Evermore.com. Always got my bottle of Evermore, and I encourage you to do the very same thing. Find a great local retailer near you. Grocery stores like Rouse's and so many great retailers that have it. Also gas stations. I mean, I was pulling into a gas station on Nicholson earlier today. Filled up gas, walked in, bought a 64-ounce bottle of Evermore. You find it everywhere, not just in Louisiana. They have national distribution, EVAMOR, Evermore.com, Evermore.com, Evermore.com. Hit the store locator, go to the tab, the little menu. It says find a store. Type in your zip code, and it'll pop up exactly the stores near you that carry Evermore, so you can find it, or you can buy it online at Evermore.com, EVAMOR, Evermore.com. All right, y'all, it is After Further Review. Thursday shows are presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing, DecisionCriticalBR.com. Mike Triplett jumps aboard with us next. Talk about the Saints coming off a very impressive win on the road in Carolina, and what we're looking at as they head into their open date, their bye week. That's next on AFR.
AFR.
We're brought to you by the Watermark and the Renaissance. Watermark Downtown, Renaissance Southtown. Of course, on Friday, the LSU Tigers, they'll move into Renaissance Baton Rouge right there on Bluebonnet. That's where they are for every home football game. The Friday before every home football game, they're at Renaissance Baton Rouge. And why not? Beautiful, sprawling hotel with enough guest rooms to host the entire LSU football team and all the staff. And enough meeting space, 13,000 square feet of meeting space, so that they can host any one of the any event you may have. So like for LSU football, their grand ballroom, which can hold up to 500 people. That's where they have like team meals, team meetings, and all. The position group meetings, they have smaller partitioned off rooms. Maybe you have like a corporate board. They have corporate board rooms at Renaissance Baton Rouge for a dozen people. They can host any event you have. Check them out on Bluebonnet. It's Renaissance Baton Rouge.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
In South Louisiana, you can always count on good people coming together to help our children.
At Dreams Come True, we grant wishes for Louisiana children with life-threatening illnesses. But to do this, we need funds.
That's why we're trying to raise $100,000 for Dreams Come True by giving away the Blessed Children's School.
Make your backyard's dream come true while helping our kids.
Just go to dreampoolla.com and you can find out how your $25 donation might help win you a Duplessis pool.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Trust isn't given, it's earned by showing up, leading the way, and performing at your best when it matters most. Our Lady of the Lake sports medicine experts know what it takes to improve performance and build champions at every level. That's why LSU chose Our Lady of the Lake as its championship health partner, trusting Louisiana's best medical team to care for our state's best athletes. From championship athletes to everyday champions, trusted care starts here.
I trust the lake.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com.
All right, glad you're rolling along with us here. Thursday edition of AFR presented by Decision Critical. Decision at criticalbr.com. Decisioncriticalbr.com. Maybe you got an unfortunate diagnosis. You need in-home nursing care. Decision Critical can help. Decisioncriticalbr.com. They want to be a complement to what your insurance allows. So have that conversation, that discovery call with their expertly trained nurses over at Decision Critical. Decisioncriticalbr.com. It's not just healthcare, it's healthcare for your lifestyle. All right, hit it, Muse.
Mike! Yeah? New Orleans Saints coverage with some Mad Libs mixed in. Why don't you just go by Mike? It's time to talk black and gold with Mike Triplett of New Orleans Football. Presented by Benny's Car Wash. Family owned and operated since 1951.
Mike, how are you?
Good. My boycott worked. I didn't come on last week. I said I'm not coming on again until they finally win a game.
Love it. Well, we'll talk to you maybe next year then, Mike. We'll see you. So when is what's the over-under for the Tyler Shough Hall of Fame announcement? Is it 24 we're talking 2040,
Well, let's
6
see.
year.
They drafted him when he was like 26, so he's only going to have like a 14-year career.
Got it.
So add 5 to that for Hall of Fame. Well, maybe they might waive it for him. So 15 to 20 years, somewhere in that range.
Okay, so we're talking like 2040, 2045 Hall of Fame induction.
2045, yep.
Okay, we'll go ahead and get started on the fundraising for that one, so we can make sure we're up there in Canton.
Just book your hotel room.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they book him that far out. No, but so the the win was impressive to go on the road and win. But if now that you've had some time to think, process, look through it, man, what were your big takeaways watching Shough?
Yeah, I mean, obviously the hilarious jokes we were just telling are a perfect example of it's such a small sample size, and there's going to be a game that's just as good as this one looked that's going to look lousy, and we're going to have to make sure we don't overreact to that. And the truth is going to be somewhere in the middle, and he's still a long shot to become like the guy. I mean, even second rounders who panned out were like Andy Dalton and Derek Carr, and their teams spent a decade not really sure they were the guy. And is he more like Will Levis or Kenny Pickett or Mac Jones? I mean, there's so many possible outcomes, but it is cool or intriguing or interesting. It makes the last 7 games really interesting, even if it's just, is this guy interesting enough that they want to and we want to look at him for 17 more games, that it kind of takes, got to go right back to the quarterback well out of the equation. That alone would be pretty huge, I think.
Yeah, because that would completely change the conversation you're having at the top of the draft next year as well,
exactly.
and who you'd be able to target. So why do you suspect it did work on Sunday? Or are we overreacting to it, Mike? I mean, they only scored 17 points.
Yeah, exactly. They only scored 17 points. They had a lot of drive stall. Although I will say my biggest disappointment with their offense was they had a ton of drive stall at like Carolina's 40, the 50, the 2 at one point because they couldn't finish off the short yardage runs. They would like run on second and third down and not be able to keep the chains moving. There really wasn't a point in this game where Shough himself came up short or got them into trouble. So that was really encouraging. And then obviously if he needed more than 17 points, it would have been interesting to see if, he could have got him to 24. He could have got him to 31, even if they needed touchdowns in the fourth quarter instead of just running out the clock. But everything he was asked to do in this game, he did really, really well. And he did it for all 4 quarters. So it wasn't like every other series or every other quarter that he was showing glimpses. He kind of kept doubling and tripling down on it. And what it looked so good for was it looked so good for a guy who's played 2 NFL games in his whole life now.
Yeah.
Obviously, it doesn't look as good as, he hasn't arrived, but it's just like there were a lot of people wondering, is he even worth taking a look at? And now that question has been answered. He's absolutely worth taking a look at and actually maybe even being intrigued by.
We've spent so much time talking about Shough. Was there anyone else in that game that was particularly impressive in a season that has not had a lot of people that are particularly impressive?
Well, Chris Olave, huge game for Chris Olave, I thought. He had the uncharacteristic drops earlier this season when he was kind of beating himself up over that, and kind of the inconsistency, kind of the lack of opportunities, waiting for his breakout moments. And not only did he just have them time and time again, the career-long touchdown pass, 62 yards, the one-handed catch in the second half, showing some physicality. But it happened in Carolina where he got carted off the field last year and didn't play again the rest of the season, and he said that was weighing on him. It was kind of like a exercise in some demons, a big moment for him. And all of a sudden you look up and he's on pace for 100 catches and 1,100 yards this year. I mean, that'd be pretty huge if we got that kind of season out of Chris Olave, who was a fairly big question mark coming into this year.
So I had Olave written down. I didn't mention him specifically. I figured you would. So let me ask about Olave. A follow-up here. Objectively, a really nice game for Chris Olave on Sunday. But that's been an outlier for Chris Olave.
Sure.
So is there any reason to believe that is anything more than just an outlier and he reverts to form?
Well, I guess the counterpoint to that would be this was not an outlier to 2022 and 2023 Chris Olave. This felt like a return to form in some ways. And actually, you kind of add the last 3 weeks together, it's been a little bit of a return to form for him. You know, he was catching 87 balls, 11. He went over 1,100 yards. Like, this is what we expected out of him from the beginning, and it kind of went away with the concussions, with missed time. And so if we see mostly this for the rest of the way out and he gets through this season fully healthy, I don't know that it's time for either side to decide they want to do the next contract heading into next season. But, you know, nobody was ready to do a long-term contract with so many question marks around him. If this is what he's going to look like down the stretch and then be 2 years removed from the concussion issues, I think he goes back to being one of those guys that you probably are willing to invest in again. And that is one of the most promising players on the team. So it wasn't, I wouldn't say it was a career outlier. It was just an outlier for the last 2 years.
That would certainly be a welcome change if, in fact, we are back to having that conversation with a guy that they invested a lot into the first round.
Obviously, one other change is Rashid Shaheed's no longer on the team. So he's, his opportunity, even though he's like second in the NFL in targets this year, his opportunity should only increase without Rashid Shaheed here anymore.
He's on Twitter at Mike Triplett, NewOrleans.football. Our chats with Mike every week are brought to you by Benny's Car Wash, Benny'sCarWash.com. Join the Unlimited Membership Club at Benny'sCarWash.com. Mike, it's amazing. It would take something like Shough having the day he did for us to overlook the Saints defense only allowing 7 points. And there's an asterisk there because the only drive Carolina scored on, there was an interception that got wiped away by a valid penalty, but a penalty that didn't actually influence anyway the turnover. So what in the world happened to this defense?
Yeah, well, I mean, that obviously could have been my answer to your question when you asked if there's anything else beyond Tyler Shough to be encouraged by. That's a little bit more. I'm going to have to see it more than once to believe it, prove it, because the defense was absolutely dominant in that game, no question. That Carolina was so unimpressive in that game. I mean, they kept giving him the ball back, too. They had the roughing the passer penalties. They'd give him new life, and then they just go 3 and out on the next series instead or throw another interception instead. I mean, what a lousy game. The one thing I did like is Carolina has had a lot of success this year. I mean, Rico Dowdle had 200-yard from scrimmage games, and the Saints very clearly went into this game and they said, we know what Carolina wants to do. They want to run the ball and take the pressure off Bryce Young. And we are going to go in there and not let them run the ball. And on the road, outdoors, against a team that's been running the ball really well, that's nice to know that they have that in them. Because if you can you're going to have a lot of success, especially against the lousy teams on the schedule for the rest of this season, if you're able to take the run away. We thought that might be a strength, and I think it was one of the bigger disappointments of the first 2 months. So if that's a sign of a better run defense to come, that'll make everything on the defense better.
Mike, they're going to screw up their draft pick by winning a bunch of games now?
Yep, they really are. Not because I think the Saints are better. I mean, they're a 2-8 team. They've earned 2-8.
Yeah.
But this schedule was so top-heavy that they played a couple games at the beginning of the season where they might have beat, a Jets or a Titans, but instead they were losing to a Bills and a Niners and a Cardinals when they were playing okay. But the rest of this schedule includes another Carolina game at home, the Dolphins, the Jets, the Titans, 2 Falcons games. I mean, there's at least 2 more wins in the rest of this schedule for this team. So I would put my Vegas odds on something like the 4th pick over the 1st pick. But if they lose all those games, then we are back to having a quarterback discussion next year. If Tyler Shough can't beat those teams, then he's going to have a hard time making his case.
Yeah, I think you and I, we've talked about this over the years, and I think you and I agree that I'd rather see them win because that shows you've got good players and a good quarterback and something to build on than lose just to get a pick that you could screw up anyway.
Yeah, except for the quarterback thing. I would say that's true unless they 100% desperately need a quarterback next year and there's no two bones about it. Then then I'd like to see that pick be as high as possible. Otherwise, you're probably trading 2 firsts to move up to get the guy. But yeah, if we're talking about, are you going to take the pass rusher, or are you going to take the DB, or are you going to take the receiver? Then the difference between pick 3 and pick 4 and pick 5 maybe isn't quite as game changing, and the wins might feel good, especially in the first year of like Kellen Moore's tenure and the buy-in you're trying to get from the young players, etc. There is some value in winning. Although it'd be nice to play really well and just have like 1 or 2 wins that make you feel good every once in a while. And lo and behold, you feel good about yourself and have the number 1 pick.
That would be. I don't know that that's in the cards because the Titans and the Jets are absolutely atrocious. But also, Mike, if you're winning those games you talked about, that means your quarterback is presumably playing well.
It kind of solves itself. If Tyler Shough wins 5 games, they probably wouldn't replace him. Even if they are beating lousy teams, even if they're just beating the Titans 17-7, you're probably not dumping him if he wins 2 or 3 more games. And if he can't beat those teams, then it's a good thing you have the number 1 pick.
Man, 2018 wasn't that long ago, was it, Mike? I mean, poof.
It feels like it didn't feel like that long ago, but
here we are. I mean, what a blink, this league, I tell you. All right, Mike Triplett,
right.
NewOrleans.football. Benny's Car Wash, Benny'sCarWash.com brings us our chats with Mike every single week. Join their unlimited membership club. I'm a member. You should be as well. Benny'sCarWash.com. Mike, we appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Always. It is After Further Review. We are glad to have you aboard with us here. We're brought to you by Supper Club, SupperClubBTR.com, SupperClubBTR.com. It is Thursday. Why don't you start the weekend off right at Supper Club? By the way, they've got stone crabs in right now over at Supper Club, and they buy directly from the fishermen. So I'm talking about the freshest possible stone crabs you can find. Like in the water yesterday, on your plate today at Supper Club. SupperClubBTR.com, SupperClubBTR.com for your reservations. Remember, always open seating at the bar. 14 bar stools, 7 bar tables, first come, first serve. So always give them a shout, try your luck, hop on in there to Supper Club, have a cocktail, glass of wine, maybe enjoy dinner at the bar, or book your reservation at SupperClubBTR.com. Holidays are around the bend, y'all. You have family coming in, you want to treat them to a great dinner, you want to go to Supper Club. Maybe you got that Christmas party for your office, whatever it may be, have it at Supper Club. Reserve it today for any size. You can even reserve the entire building if you want. SupperClubBTR.com, SupperClubBTR.com. All right, it is After Further Review. We are glad you're with us. One thing left to do. Jimmy will be here for Otter Locks. Not a great night last night. Unfortunately, I went heavy, too. I was feeling real good about Paul Stone's football picks, and everything was trending our way. All the line movement was going in our direction. The old don't be a moron, bet more on it. Well, I was a moron because I bet more on it, and we need to make good tonight. So we'll get Jimmy here, and we'll find out what we're betting on. Thursday Night Football, that's up next here on AFR.
AFR.
Christmas is right around the corner. Maybe give your family this year a Christmas they will never forget by putting in a pool from Duplessis Builders. Give them the Clark Griswold treatment this Christmas, not the Jelly of the Month Club. Put in a pool. And if there's enough left over, you can fly them all into dedicated. And there should be enough left over because at Duplessis, you can go to their pick your pool option on the homepage. Just go to DuplessisBuilders.net, 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 hit the pick your pool option. They have 11 different pool designs. You just choose which design you like, pick out your finishes, and boom, you're done. You can even pay for it right now on the website if you want. Starting as low as $49K. Now, you want to do the big, beautiful, gorgeous resort-style pool and outdoor kitchen, they do all of that as well. But they have every option for every budget. It's DuplessisBuilders.net. Check them out online right now. DuplessisBuilders.net.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs, set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online or text or call for free, confidential help now.
Raising Cane's is our victory meal.
Football fans are some of the most dedicated fans in sports. It's a fundamental quality we share, and that fuels every single order of our hand-battered chicken fingers. Wherever there's football, there's Raising Cane's.
One love. Let's go.
Parish Construction and Roofing.
This is Coach Kim Mulkey. Go to parishbuilt.com for all of your roofing needs.
From your hometown, parishbuilt.com.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here, we eat out here, we watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient. And you will have your pool in no time.
Today, we are shaping tomorrow.
We are researching how extreme stress impacts the immune system, from trauma victims to athletes and even astronauts.
Our work is leading the way in sepsis treatment, saving countless lives.
We're unlocking the mind with music in exciting new ways.
Our Lady of the Lake Health and LSU are improving the health of our state.
That's the impact of champions.
Imagine the impact we'll have on the future. Together, we roar.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Ochsner Andrews Institute.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com.
Down the stretch we come. Final segment here on a Thursday edition of AFR. We always appreciate Blazia and the awesome team over at Decision Critical. Not just healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com. Decisioncriticalbr.com. All right, one thing left to do. Find out what we're betting on tonight. Time for Otter Locks.
Otter Locks.
All right, time to win some money.
Presented by Total Maintenance AC Repair. Same-day service means you will never sleep hot. 480-1000. We are Total Maintenance.
I think it's safe to say that I won the bet.
Otter, how are you?
Doing good. I apologize for that 0 for 3 last night. So
not a great night, and I was a moron because I bet more on it.
Well, that's my fault. They scratched our quarterback, So,
happens.
And the backup, the backup was blank happens. So,
like REO Speedwagon said, Otter, you got to roll with the changes. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay. Day of rock and roll, City Park, bro.
Let's go.
Man.
We roll with the changes. Yeah. And you know what we're going to do? We're just going to hop back on that horse tonight. We're going to find us some winners. So let's go get them.
And what better horse to whip than that coyote beating son of a gun with the hockey stick from Las Vegas, Colucci. He's got 2 picks tonight. Let's get to him.
What did you say? I would have beat with a stick of what?
There's a coyote issue in Las Vegas, and he walks the park, and he walks with his hockey stick in case he has
I need pictures of this.
I can't make this up.
You could, but it's a way better story if you're not.
So he's got the Dallas Stars. Stars, a couple of, I think, 10-2 teams on the road, but he's got the Dallas Stars. Should be right around even money.
Yep, minus $1.02.
Okay, that was exactly what it was earlier today. We're doing a show at Sammy's. And then the Islanders in the Fortress at the Las Vegas. They're coming back a big dog. So he's got the New York Islanders. So 2 picks tonight from Colucci. One right at even money and one big money.
Yeah,
$1.60. What is it now?
$1.54.
Okay, $1.54 right now. So Colucci's got 2 picks tonight. Matt, the chalk in these Thursday night games now of double digits or more is really been historically successful. There's only been one case where it's a double-digit home favorite this year. Buffalo was -11. We had Miami that night. They lost by 10. They covered. But 33-0 straight up and 25-8 Thursday night favorites of 10 or more. So the Jets have won and covered 2 in a row. Hello. We're gonna lay the chalk, lay the points, and take New England minus the points at home.
All right.
And then we got one basketball game tonight. This is a revenge spot for Alabama against Purdue. Purdue, if you remember this, they played a Friday last year. Purdue upset them last year. It was the day of the Tyson-Jake Paul fight, if you remember that.
Do you think I honestly remember an Alabama-Purdue basketball game from a year ago?
Well, I do. Jake Paul, Mike Tyson. We had Jake Paul in the decision. It paid good. So
yeah, no kidding. Who was betting on Mike Tyson? Jesus.
I walked in Beau Rivage that night. Everybody.
Unbelievable. I mean, is that just a case where people don't actually watch combat sports, and so they think a 60-year-old man is going to be able to hang at all with a guy in his 20s?
Matt, a lot of times people they bet what they want to pull for, and a lot of people were pulling for Tyson. Because you couldn't bet it in Louisiana last year, but in Mississippi you could. And Carl Johnson, the former sportsbook manager, I said, "What's this percentage look like?" He says, "I have not taken a Jake Paul bet yet," and that place was packed. I mean, I was walking in as it was
1 minute
unloaded.
remaining.
There was not a happy place. So we go in Alabama tonight. It's a revenge spot. They're really good. Big win in Madison Square Garden against St. John's, top 5 team. Laying 2.5 for 3. We'll take Alabama minus the points at home. That game tips off in ESPN2 in about 5 minutes.
All right, the Gucci likes the Dallas Stars and New York Islanders. Otter's going chalk. We're laying 12.5 with the Patriots, and on the hardwood 3.5 with the Crimson Tide. Football Friday tomorrow.
Yes, indeed. Charlie and Richard get started off at 10 a.m. Ruffina.
All right.
Good luck.
Good luck, Otter. Have a good night. We appreciate it. That is Jimmy out. Jimmy and Charlie will be at Ruffino's tomorrow for Lock of the Week Friday. All right, it's going to do it for us. As always, thanks to Blasia and the great team over at Decision Critical, our title sponsors here on Thursdays, DecisionCriticalBR.com. Muse, Paulie, thanks. Y'all have an awesome night. We'll see you tomorrow at 3.
After further review.
And always a big thanks to Brandon Holly and the gang at Relief Windows. Should have Otter tell his story. Otter lives in one of those neighborhoods where the HOA requires wood windows. If you live in a neighborhood that requires wood windows, the problem you often have, especially in Louisiana where it's humid and it's wet, I mean, those wood windows rot, and you end up replacing them every 3, 5, 7 years, whatever it may be. Well, with Relief Windows, the wood windows, those Geldwin wood windows from composite, which means they last. They offer a lifetime warranty on their wood windows. It's Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding. Oh, yeah, they do shutters too. It's Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Tell you all the time, at Relief Windows, they will never ask anyone else, they will never take $1 from you for a down payment. They will never take $1 until they're done and you're thrilled. They just demand that the customer is going to be absolutely thrilled. It's Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. And when you're cooking with clean, affordable propane, you're cooking with gas. In the wintertime, nothing heats a home like Louisiana propane. And when you need hot water, propane's got you covered. Oh, and you won't regret that propane generator when the power goes out. I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and to find more information and to find a propane dealer near you, visit louisianapropane.com.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Every winner knows a great play starts with a solid game plan and the right team by your side. At Sunshine, we're here to keep your operation running strong. From tractors to harvesters, we've got the John Deere equipment you need to tackle every job with confidence. Because when the work's done right, there's more time for the things that matter, like cheering on your favorite team. Make Sunshine Quality Solutions part of your playbook this season and learn more about what it means to be powered by Sunshine at sunequip.com.
BRAC teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. BRAC, your #1 park system in the nation.
Supreme Jasmine is premium American-grown rice. From local farms to your table, every grain is supreme. Pick up a bag of Jasmine or any other of our Supreme American rice.
Tiger Country is 100.7 The Tiger. In the car on 100.7 FM or on the 100.7 The Tiger app. 90s country and beyond. 100.7 The Tiger.